What is up, everybody? Welcome back once again to Hot Toys Hotline Live on this fine Thursday evening. We have three of the boys here today. We have more coming in later in the stream. Cigars will be joining us. Sean will be joining us, so don't worry. The whole panel will be here. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you all are doing well. For me, it's been a very long day. I've had a lot of stuff to do today, but of course, the best part of my day is going live and hanging out with my friends here on the panel and hanging out with my friends here in the chat and talking about all the stuff that's been going on this week.
Whether it gives us a headache or not.
Yeah. Definitely some headaches this week for sure, but there's been some silver linings here and there.
Yeah. And some goodbye and hey, hellos and goodbye. Some figures this week.
There has been some goodbyes, guys, and we're going to talk about that. But first, I know everybody wants to talk about, and I want to talk about it. They want to talk about this guy. Go ahead, Lane, before I start.
Okay, yeah, one thing I just wanted to mention, everybody, I know it's a little bit early, but if you come back and catch us later and stuff, we did just want to make aware, as you probably noticed, we did post up the other day our video for the contest.
And, oh, yes.
If our contest winner or any of the other top three that were selected to either watch this later or pop in here in the next little bit, we did hear back from the original winner, and the prize is on its way to him already. And so we want to wish him congratulations. Really hope you like that and everything. We appreciated everyone who decided to get involved, whether on Instagram, who commented on our original prize video. We really appreciated everybody
absolutely
getting involved, and we appreciate you spending all the time, like obviously this evening, every Thursday we like to do with you. Anyway, I just wanted to give a quick shout out so that if our winner does anything, it is on the way with you. It has already been set and is on its way to you.
Yeah, Lane works fast. But yeah, congratulations to Braden. Braden was our winner. I see Ty in the chat. Ty was actually one of our runner-ups. And by the way, guys, don't worry if you are a runner-up, you didn't win this time. You are still eligible for future giveaways. So don't worry about that. Ty, I appreciate you reaching out to me. I thought that was amazing. You said some very kind words to me, so I really appreciate you. And it's good to have you here as always. Before we get started on the first topic of the night, I want to say what's up to my boy Dylan. It's always good to see Dylan able to pop in through here. He's a good friend of mine. He lives in the UK. He's one of my friends through the Discord, so it's good to see you in here, man. I hope you're doing well. Our boy Steve Showcase in the house, as always. I hope you're doing well, Steve, on this fine Thursday evening. Of course, it can't be a Hot Toys Hotline stream or Hot Toys Hotline anything without Insane One. Insane One and I chat very frequently on Instagram and stuff, so that's my dude. Good to see you here, man. Let's see who else we got here. Some guy. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Every time, even if I don't see your name, every time I see that profile picture, I know it's you. When it just scrolls past really fast, I'm like, there he is. There's some guy.
There's a certain guy.
Right. There's a guy. So, Oilers, my man. In here, spreading lies. Spreading lies over here.
Right.
Well, hey, I think Lane likes to give away expensive stuff, so maybe Lane will.
He's doing the swoop bikes, remember, from last stream?
That's right. Oh, Lane last stream did say he was giving swoop bikes to everybody on the panel. So
I think
you get a swoop bike.
I think, you were talking about, we were in back thing mentioning some things having crap and stuff possibly. There's still crap in your guys' ears.
Maybe. Maybe. We'd have to watch the replay to find out. But yeah, so what's up, everybody? It's great to have you all here. And now I know Lane has some stuff to say about this one, but that's why I'm going to go first. We're going to start with my love for this. And I know Oilers was kind of indifferent on this one as well.
Yeah, it's easy to be in love.
CSI coming in. What's up, CSI? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you as always. All right, here we go. So we're going to talk about
Groot.
Everybody's favorite baby tree here, Groot. So guys, if you aren't aware, this is actually from the little mini series I Am Groot. Very random release. Oilers had mentioned earlier on my community post that like who asked for this, and that, I do understand that with this one fully, because this is very random, and it's like, really, you gave us Groot before She-Hulk
or more Inquisitors that you've already shown us,
like, right? Those other two, the other two Inquisitors we're still waiting on. Yeah. Hashtag get clonked. This is definitely a get clonked moment. But yeah, with that being said, guys, I do think that this is really cool. For me personally. Now, if you aren't aware, this is basically the the base of the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 standalone release of Groot, just with way more accessories and different things added. You have extra head sculpts. You have this beautiful, like, clear bubble. I haven't watched I Am Groot yet, but you have this, like,
Whatever
I think
the
this is
hell
a
it is.
bubble. It looks like a bubble to me, or maybe it's some sort of astral form. I don't know. If you've seen I Am Groot, let me know. I'm gonna watch it now that this has come out. I'm like, okay, maybe I should watch it if I'm interested in the figure.
Sorry.
JB, by the way, good to see you, JB. I don't know where Bespin Han is. I think he's lost in the wilderness somewhere, far away from our reach. I don't know where he is, unfortunately.
I
Thick
think
Bantha boy, what's going on, bro?
I think at this point we just need to go. Where's our ORTJ hand? ROTJ hand. We need to start just doing that enunciation.
Yeah, because I mean, look, Bespin Han is obviously very beloved, and we would love to get Bespin Han, but I'd be fine with Duster Han, and that's more likely because the Return of the Jedi anniversary is kind of upon us at this point. We already have merchandise and stuff coming out for it, so I'd love to see it. But guys, before we get off topic, let's talk about Groot. So you can see here, this is obviously one of the alternate head sculpts here. He's kind of got like a stern face with his mouth clenched shut. I think this is really cool. I like that they threw in a bunch of accessories. The only disappointing thing is this does only include one body. You do get this kind of translucent Groot here, but the main body, you only get one of them, and it has two alternate head sculpts apart from the one that comes installed on the figure. So that's a little disappointing. If you didn't see the price, this one is $275 on Sideshow, which is not far off from what I expected. Insane One and I were kind of talking about it right when it first got announced. And I was telling him I thought it'd probably be $265, $270, and I was like possibly $285 if they're really feeling like ripping us off. But $275 isn't surprising to me. Granted, it is a smaller figure, so it could have been $265. I mean, let's compare it to like the Grand Inquisitors, for example, or excuse me, the Grand Inquisitor and Reva. Those were $260, $265. So is it a great value? No, but it does come with a lot of stuff. To be fair, I love the little like little fruits or vegetables, whatever those are, on his eyes. I think that's really cool. Let's see. Oh, right here. Oilers said, "You want a baby tree? Go buy a walnut for 50 cents."
Yeah, that's
but then it doesn't look like Groot though. It just looks like a walnut. Then I'll just have a walnut in my collection. I don't want a walnut in my collection. Yes, my boy Will is here. I knew he would share his excitement for Groot with me because he was mentioning earlier that he really wanted this. Yeah, this is really cool, guys. I mean, definitely not for everyone. And of course, mentally, a lot of people are going to associate this with this mini series, and they'd be like, "Well, I didn't even watch that," or "It was like basically nothing." It was just very simple, and it wasn't for me. And they're going to be like, "I don't want this Groot." But if you think outside the box, if you don't have a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Groot, this could be your Volume 2 Groot. There's many different options for display with this guy, but I think it's really cool, and it's nice that you have the base body, and you can kind of add and remove whatever accessories you want. I love this like greenery look here. I would never display him this way, but I do think it's really cool. This is hilarious. Again, I have to watch it because I'm very curious of where this whole thing comes from and where it comes into play. But
I actually like this look. I think this is hilarious. Even
yeah, it's awesome. I think it's really cool.
Porno stash there.
CMB is here.
Oh, CMB is here. What's up, CMB? Perfect timing. We just got started. So I know CMB, as you're coming in here, I know you're a fan of this Groot.
Oh yeah.
What are your thoughts on this guy?
I'm excited. Like I was talking about earlier, I dig it. It's refreshing. We're getting that whole cuteness overload thing, and it's refreshing from Hot Toys because Hot Toys is known for making serious figures, and every now and then they like to toss a cute figure. Like they've done Groot a couple times. You got Grogu 1/1, so I find it refreshing to just get something different from time to time from Hot Toys.
Yeah, for sure.
My son wants it, so like the only picture I showed him was the teaser with the Macho Man look,
and he's like, "I'll take it."
Yeah, because I was like, "What do you think of this Groot?" And his exact words were, "I want that Macho Man Groot." And I just started laughing. I was like, "That's such a good name for him."
Yeah, that's hilarious. Oh yeah, duh. Yeah, those are cucumbers on his eyes. Sorry, I don't go to spas. I've never been to a spa, and I probably never will.
I dig it. I mean, the price tag too. Whew. We were estimating high from anywhere from 285 to 315 this morning. So the fact that they hit us with 275, I was like, heck yeah. But then at the same time, I was like, what did I say?
Yeah.
Low balls here, then a high ball.
Yeah.
Low balls here, then the high ball.
Then the next major figure everybody actually wants of a major character, 350.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's what they're doing is they're letting you think, oh yeah, less money, that's awesome, because they're getting ready to desensitize us to the new norm of 300 to 315.
Yeah, I think so. Unfortunately, I think so.
Yeah.
Steve, it sounds like to me that you need a Groot for your desk. I mean, that seems like a pretty obvious answer to me. Grab the Groot and put it on your desk, man. Doesn't have to fit in with your collection if it's on your desk, right?
I'm getting two.
Yeah, I think I'm going to grab one and then try to hunt down an additional body. I think that's probably my plan.
I think I'm with Oilers.
Yeah. Oilers says it's cool. It's just with 150 plus pre-orders and how behind they are and the literal hundreds of other things people would want to buy and pay more for, they pick this. I mean, money, I guess. Yeah, I mean, Sean is here. Sean, how's it going, bro?
Carter.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
Captain Chubby Cheeks.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that Hot Toys has released recently. I mean, the Mark V reissue. It's like, no one wants that. No one wants that. I mean, the neon tech. Now, granted, those figures were catered towards the Shanghai store, and I understand it. But in the U.S., that stuff doesn't really interest most of us, you know. But yeah, Sean, we're just talking about the baby Groot here. I know you already pre-ordered 5 of them, but
yeah, right. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of with the Oilers. Like, it's cool and everything. And if we didn't have a ton of stuff that they're not bringing in on time, especially since they keep delaying everything with the head sculpt.
Yeah,
kind of like, you know, what is this like? You know, this is just eye candy to get us distracted.
It is cute. Okay, well, Sean's on the phone. CSI. This does look like a Chia Pet. That's hilarious. That actually is exactly what that looks like. It's Chia Pet Groot.
Where's
that's
the
the
next
official
wave
name?
Of thrills, man.
Right, that's the official name.
Where's
I mean,
Padme?
Is she okay?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what it is. Where's Wave 2 of Attack of the Clones? Where's, like you said, She-Hulk? Because their show is finished.
Yeah, like I expected She-Hulk before this. I really did.
Inquisitors. I mean, for DC, is there, I don't know, a Dr. Fate or a Hawkman, you know, from Black Adam that just
that would be sick.
Out, you know, just a thing. Or is there an early figure for Black Panther Wakanda Forever? You know,
right,
maybe
Shuri, Black Panther. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, Shuri or Namor or, you know, something leading into that, because it's only like, you know, a little over a week away.
Martin is not excited about She-Hulk.
Nope. Well, I want Namor with his full headdress and
dude, that would be cool.
And the Megalodon throne.
Yeah, the Megalodon
on purpose. Megalodon.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, like just something like that. I mean, there's their 3 main licenses. We were able to name at least a figure or something, you know, a property here that's come out within the last month or 2 or something. They've said, hey, more is coming. They could have put a figure out for or something, you know? We don't need 5 figures at once, but something of that.
No, and I don't know. It's very interesting, the decisions they're making right now. And I think part of me thinks they did this one because they already had the main mold for the body and such. And they're like, we could just kind of make the accessories and call it a day. Just because obviously they're a bit behind with the releases. They have a lot of stuff that they have to get out before the end of the year, and some of it probably won't make it, unfortunately. But
don't forget, the mouse is leading this as well. So
yeah,
they gotta go with what the mouse is telling them to make too. So contract.
Right. And they definitely have a hand in it for sure. I mean, I don't think 219 is terrible. I think that's definitely a lot more manageable for those that are like, this is cool for that price. Because this is, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is either the same price or very close. Actually, no, I think the original Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Groot, just the standalone Groot, I think was 190 something. So this isn't too far off, and it does come with a decent amount of stuff. So I think the collector's edition is obviously the best value, in my opinion.
You get 2 figures with the collector's edition. Granted, one of them's a power pose, but I mean, look at how much King Shark costs, and he's a power pose figure.
I thought that all of these pieces attached to the main figure. That's what, at least that's what Monica told me. And then the picture that was posted from Secret Base, it had a little plaque next to it, and it said it included one body. It literally had a photo of everything it included, and it didn't have two bodies. I didn't think it came with two. I could be wrong, but
No, the deluxe comes with the clear.
oh, you're counting that as a second figure. Okay, that's fair.
It's arm because the arms and head articulate.
Yeah,
The
that's
legs
fair.
don't.
Sorry, I thought we were talking about the collector's edition, so it just threw me off. But
My bad.
oh yeah, so 280. So that's a 189.99. So that's not a terrible markup considering the markups they're hitting us with. So not much of a difference. Is a $30 difference, and it probably comes with a bit more. Of course, they hit us with the in-art accessory, the paper here. That's not too exciting, but yeah, I mean, it's a cool release. Definitely something I want to pick up, but it'll be one that I'm just going to kind of sit and watch for a little bit. I'm not in any rush to pre-order this. It's not something that's like in Orlars and I were talking about. Like, it's not at the top of my list. Like, oh, sweet, we got a baby Groot from I Am Groot, you know?
Doesn't it feel like we're stacking up a lot, though, with, this is another one that's supposed to be October to March 2024. Like, we've been having some since the Obi-Wan. Doesn't it feel like that quarter?
That's a big range.
Jammed? Yeah, well, I mean, but that period of time is really getting jammed.
Yeah.
With figures right now, it doesn't matter if it's 6 months or what. There are a lot of figures in that, ballpark now.
Yeah.
That I'm kind of like, with how many for 2022 are dropping into early 2023 and stuff.
Grab my foot.
Cigars don't break stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening there. It sounded like he said, I'm going to go grab my food. Steve said for an extra $56, the pajamas alone are worth it. Yeah, that's true. You got to have your Groot pajamas. But yeah, guys, that's Groot. There's not much else to say about him. It's a very basic figure. I will be personally picking it up. It seems like I'm probably the only one on the panel apart from CMB that's grabbing it. But I think it's neat. It's definitely neat. It's just not at the top of everybody's list, obviously. It's definitely one that's like very surprising. That one caught me off guard completely. And obviously we kind of had an idea it was coming because Hot Toys had posted that little teaser photo, but very interesting indeed. But next, guys, we're going to talk about quite the debacle from this past week. This week, really. And that is the stealth suit Captain America. Now, guys, for those of you that weren't involved at all with this release, I'll kind of give you an idea of how this went. Basically, when he first went up, there was about a 5-minute window where the website was fine. Like, there was no issues, and you could go in and pre-order as usual. It was slightly slow. And I say this because I was able to get into the website early, so I didn't run into any of these issues until I started trying to get one from my friend. But basically what happened with this guy is once everybody kind of figured out, and they dropped this pretty early. So a lot of people on the West Coast were probably sleeping or just waking up at the time. So once everybody kind of realized that he was up and people started posting it and stuff on Facebook and other groups, the website absolutely took a crap. Like it was sending out bad gateway errors. People were trying to add it to their cart and it wasn't going in their cart. People were adding it to their cart and they couldn't proceed to checkout. There was a lot of issues with this release. And it's definitely very understanding, and the frustration is very understandable because it's missing. And I think most of you would agree on the panel and in chat. It's like missing something because of your own doing. Like you weren't fast enough. That's one thing, but basically not getting a fair shake at something because the website takes a crap. That's very frustrating, you know?
Well, it's not even that though. It's the amount of misinformation on this that came down.
Well, there was certainly a lot. Even Autumn gave us misinformation. Yeah. So what Sean's talking about, guys, and Sean, you can kind of elaborate on it. But basically, so originally, obviously, when this was posted, guys, we saw that they were saying like, oh, if you RSVP, there'll be a special gift or something along those lines, right? For RSVPing, everybody's like thinking like, oh, maybe it's an extra accessory or something. And then an ambassador, someone had chatted with an ambassador, and the ambassador was like, well, no, I think it's just whoever RSVPs for the first three. All right. Well, they said whoever RSVPs the first 300 people will get the special bonus, essentially. That ended up obviously not being true because there really were only 300. But Sean, if you would like to share what Autumn said to everybody, kind kind of in response to all the questions after this ambassador made that blanket statement.
And then basically what happened was Auden made the comment that there will be 300 people will be randomly selected. It's not her exact words.
So like a lottery,
randomly
basically.
Selected
Yeah.
to receive this. And they'll receive an email to order it. And everyone else who RSVP'd will get a bonus.
Right.
Yep, I remember her saying that.
Yeah,
Right, and so we
it's a
think-
chosen thing.
Yeah, and then so what happens is everyone then gets an email causing issues. I know people called, everyone was getting different answers, where one answer was that I received was, yeah, only the people selected for it will get it. So if somebody else ordered it and they were not selected
Right.
to receive the email, that order will be canceled.
Right. So that's
And
obviously
that sounds like the best thing right there, right? That prohibits anyone from trying to, let somebody else know, hey, you better order this now. Here's the link. So I thought that was respectful. Come to find out, it's a first come, first served basis. I had this thing in my cart, and then it said it wouldn't accept my manner of payment.
Yep.
And then I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get it back in my cart after that point.
Yep. Mine kept fluctuating. Mine would say it was in cart, then I try to get to the cart section and it disappeared.
Mhm.
And then it kept telling me like, oh, it's in someone else's cart. Or then it just went to server timeout, server timeout, server timeout. And then it popped up again and said, it's in your cart. And I went to go hit finalize and it disappeared again. And then it said waitlist. And I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a nightmare, man. It was an
Yeah.
absolute
But
nightmare.
I was the same. Yeah, I was the same way with Sean with what Autumn said. It made it sound like exactly what he was saying. Like, all right, we know that more than 300 people reserved this. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna randomly select 300 people out of the whatever total did or reserve this.
Right.
And you're gonna get a specific email that says, "Hey, congratulations, you're one of 300 to get this. You better click it. You have this much time to click it. If you don't, we're going to cancel yours and give it up to another person." I was under the same assumption. Nope, they just did a free for all and let the bots take over.
Yeah, and I said this.
Thunderdome. It was what it was. It was Thunderdome.
Right. I've said this a couple times before. It's like this felt like a console release, like a shoe release. Like that's exactly what it felt like, and that's normal. It's like, and all of those websites that do those releases, that's why they have a queue system for that very reason. And Sideshow, if they were deciding that they were going to go a different route, they should have implemented that where literally the website will queue you and not allow a certain amount of people in at a time. I mean, even like Shop Disney, for example, if you go for lightsaber or merchandise releases or whatever, they do the same thing. There's a queue that started the moment it strikes 12 or whenever the release drops, and then everybody gets put into a queue and slowly let into the website. And Sideshow obviously didn't anticipate that and or care. So they just kind of said, let's go for it.
Yeah, dude, I had literally, I was doing it for a couple hours, and I got
like
to the
Steve said, he
checkout
tried to get it
part,
for an hour. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
and then it would say like reserved in cart, but then you would hit checkout, and it would take you back to your request has been timed out, and try again in a few minutes, and then you would repeat the process, and then it got even further to where you couldn't even get to that checkout part, and it was like, someone has this in your cart, please, or in their cart already, please try again. Then you would even, I know I tried Apple Pay, and it said like Sideshow
Not
doesn't
available.
fit
Yeah,
to
it was
my
like it doesn't
address
ship.
or whatever.
Yeah, I remember you
And I
saying
was
that.
like, yeah, you do. I get crap here all the time from there. So yeah, it was a mess.
Yeah, and by the way, congrats on that 2012 cap, Steve. That's a beautiful figure. That's probably the best cap in my opinion, just because I love the colors. But Bantha Boy, yeah, it's funny that you mentioned the 5-minute checkout window message that you get, because that does not work most of the time. Oh, interesting. CSI says breaking news: the Hulkbuster Deluxe is back on Sideshow. Man,
Jeez.
hey, if you didn't get it yet and you were hesitating, now's your chance. This is your fourth opportunity at this point. It just keeps coming back. But as I was saying, Bantha, I find it very interesting that when it says that, it doesn't actually reserve anything. Because I've gone for like Sideshow Back from the Dead stuff that's popped up, and It said I had 5 minutes, and then it just ripped it right out of my cart. Someone else got it. So that system also needs to be definitely fixed for sure. But who knows if they'll ever mess around with that. Like I said, they definitely should implement some sort of queue system for these releases, because if they're going to continue to do limited stuff, and I imagine that Mark V reissue with the special diorama base, that's probably going to be limited as well. I don't know if as many people are going to go for that, but still, it's going to be limited. So maybe they'll decide to do something a bit differently. I don't know.
Well, see, the thing is, though, the issues on the website have been consistent since 2019.
Right. Even with the rewards points and stuff, it was
know,
pretty bad. Yeah.
They keep having issues where I remember starting 2019 where they did an update. They wouldn't process my payments. And so I would have to call them to process my payment plans.
Right.
Or they would say, I got a letter or an email saying, yeah, your payment did not go through. No, there's plenty of funds there. I'd contact the card company, and they're like, there was never anything processed.
Right, which is obviously frustrating. Welcome back, Lane.
You know, and then there's also...
No, I remember that. I went through
Boba Fettuccine, what's up, my man?
With a couple of my pre-orders where it would say couldn't process payment, check with your bank type of deal. I'm like, what? I know I got money in my account.
Yeah, and when the switch happened too, when they did the update to start taking money out for taxes, I had some items that were canceled on me
a couple times.
Yeah,
it's I had to, and I asked them to reopen it, and I was like, wait a minute, I asked you to reopen this. Well, we can't reopen the same order number. So then I ended up having to pay taxes on that.
Yeah. It's here. And here's another thing, guys, we didn't mention about this release too. Not only did a lot of people sit here and frustratingly go to the website to try to get this figure for an hour or 2 hours, they also blocked you from using any coupon codes, any rewards. ID Me did not work. I was able to get this figure right before like everything kind of went to shit and everybody's browsers were crashing and stuff like that. And the only thing I was able to use on this figure was my gift card balance. So that was another really weird thing to me, because in my memory, I don't remember them ever doing that, blocking you completely from any sort of discount whatsoever on a figure. There's none that I could personally think of. If someone on the panel remembers this happening, I don't remember them blocking you out of everything.
Like there are times when they'll block like coupons, but I have never seen where they block rewards.
Right.
Points.
That's the weird
San
thing.
Diego Comic Con, they did that with some of the Iron Mans that they did, like the retro stuff. You couldn't use rewards on them. Like this, when they did this retro colors for the Sneaky armor, you couldn't.
I thought you said stinky armor.
No, I don't know the mark number for it.
But yeah, I thought you said stinky. I thought that was funny.
Sneaky.
It's the poopy one, the poopy Iron Man.
So that you couldn't use that. I think it was called Shades.
Oh yeah.
Was another one that you couldn't use your reward points on.
Which is ridiculous.
So it's happened before. And
I understand the coupon thing, but the rewards, that's ridiculous, because that's like a big portion of their business is promoting their reward system, and like promoting getting referrals and stuff like that. So it's like, and my thought behind this is like, okay, they probably were thinking to themselves, there's only 300 of these. They're going to sell regardless of what we charge. So they're probably like, this is a good way for us to recoup. Like, I think we did the math yesterday. It was what, like $100,000 for them that they were able to make on these figures. So even with taking their cut out of it without any rewards and stuff, they did pretty well on these. So it's like, I understand it from a business point of view for sure, but as a consumer, it's definitely frustrating, because I had like 160 rewards points saved up for this guy, and I wasn't able to use them on him. So I just kind of had to take my discount with the gift card and then call it a day, which I'm not complaining about. I'm happy I was able to get it. But
block the ID Me discount. Like, hey,
right, you're promoting a new
service,
veterans discount,
but we're not going to let you get this.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate here on this right now, even though I am one who's receiving that. They don't have to offer that anyways. So if they're going to do it for some stuff and not everything, I'm actually okay with it. Yeah. I really am. And the fact that people couldn't use rewards or anything else because there was only 300 of this. I'm actually understanding of that too.
And the hotline's wide open tonight for Sean.
One thing I was upset about this whole debacle was it knocked everything out of my cart. And I had things that were in there that were on blue screen. So I was freaking out that like I was going to lose it.
Have you ever had Ming Na Wen Linguini? For those you don't know, that's the Fennec Shand actress.
Yeah. Yes, no, that's why I was a little confused there for a second. Like, why are we bringing up her? But anyway,
because it's funny, Lane.
It's funny, duh.
God,
I want all you can eat Ming Na Wen Linguini.
I'll take it.
Right. But yeah, no, this entire thing, I've let you guys have all your talk. This was absolutely one of the worst experiences I've had through Sideshow's website ever.
Lane, you don't have to stop because there's
this is pretty. I know it was.
So
depressing.
This, like, because the figure looks cool. Now, admittedly, I only think the real reason I was even possibly interested in this was the destroyed gauntlet. Really, I think that's one thing.
Was for me too.
Because there are plenty of other Captain Americas that are still out there, whether on secondary you can get for a cheap price or even just on Sideshow. There are a bunch of good ones.
Right.
Still like the 2012 or of course, obviously probably the best, maybe the best one, the Endgame. But like, I think with just how this was handled, like you guys were talking about with the free for all and everything, like, and then they of course put up the stupid video and stuff, so it feels like the element just punch you in the side of the head.
That's what I was saying. It's like they did so many things to kind of rub the salt in the wound.
And
like,
I know
here's a 30% off code. Sorry you missed out on this.
Yeah, I know they didn't mean that necessarily. It's just when the thing came out, but it feels like it after it sold out. This is just one of the ways that it feels Sideshow always just like smashes, they're doing everything rolling around. We talk about individual cases where customer service or they've done things or they did the military discount recently. All these are good positive things because they help somewhat offset sometimes, the changes they've had the last several years with, charging you tax, shipping, other stuff like that, like that kind of stuff. And then they have something like this. Now, obviously, if you're a statue collector or some of these other different things, you didn't even notice this, other than it may have annoyed you because the entire website.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you buy anything other than Hot Toys and you're on the website at that time, you're probably a bit confused, I'm sure.
Yeah, but the way they can't seem to, when it's out of the ordinary of how they normally do things, or it's like one of their own giveaway for a specific thing or something that they normally do, one of their normal functions. They always seem to not exactly know how to do this in such a way that it doesn't cause stuff to have issues. Whether it was the arena fets where they accidentally put it up for a while, and when obviously that was a figure that was meant to have that is not my favorite.
This is so I was going to say this is Lane when he's brushing his teeth in the morning.
Yeah. But this was that's two examples. That is two examples we've had just in the since the summer, where it was something special kind of or like Arena Boba Fett, limited, or something. Well, that's what I mean. Arena
even Boba like Fett. The Chrome clone. I mean, look how fast that sold out.
Yeah, but that didn't seem to run into the same problems like this or Arena Fett did with the glitches.
Yeah, not as much. No, the Arena Fett, I wouldn't even call that a glitch because they definitely were like, limit 6, let's just do it, and they just threw it up, and they're like, oh, whoops.
Yeah. But I mean, where they always seem to put their, they're walking along doing things good, moonwalking their way to some positivity, and then they moonwalk straight into moonwalk straight into a big tub of bird poop and just slide right on through.
Well said, Lane. Gross. Very poetic. Moonwalking into bird poop.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what it felt like when it was trying. Whereas Cigars and Bacon talked about running into like it being in my court, not being in my cart, getting to where I try and switch where it told me it's in there and it's waiting for me to, go to my checkout thing. Now, I understand where I'm a little bit on the opposite thing. It's like if every other effing figure, you guys, even some of the exclusives, you've been able to use points, whether it's the Chrome Troopers or even Arena Boba Fett. I think you were able to use them on him, and he was almost as exclusive as this figure, maybe not quite as much. You could use points on him, you know, and this one just out of the blue doesn't let you. I'm sorry, but that's maybe
very,
Hot Toys
very
said
out
you
of the
can't.
ordinary for sure.
Yeah, maybe Hot Toys gave him specific things for this run they couldn't, or there was something with it where the Sideshow couldn't do it. So I'm not going to just like throw Hot Toys completely or Sideshow completely under the bus, because since they've done it for every other exclusive, I have a feeling that there was maybe some constraints put on them for what they could do.
Yeah.
But you guys didn't talk about it too much, but because we've been more about how this figure happened. How did you guys feel about the price point for 320? I thought now bad. I know it's low number does offset sometimes things for stuff being a little bit more pricey. And I'm not even saying he was like super crazy overpriced, but don't you think if we were going high end for this guy, high end, maybe 300?
No, yeah, I think he was about $40 overpriced in my opinion. Real quick though, OG, I'm so sorry I missed you earlier. I didn't see your comment. What's up, dude? It's good to see you. I was actually asking Lane about you the other day because I hadn't seen you in a bit, but I guess that answers my question. I hope you're doing well, bro. It's good to see you.
Yeah, and so I mean, I drove all the rest of the panel off apparently.
Yeah, they're just too scared to show their face. It's all right. I'll always be on camera.
No,
I'm
cooking dinner at the same time.
I thought you said something about food. I knew it when you dipped out earlier. I'm like,
I
think when I said, "Oh crap, my food," because the water was boiling over. So that's why I keep
hit the like button like Lou suggested. But in chat, and guys, for like
Lou, what's up, bro? Whoops, wrong comment. Lou, what's up? Yeah, hit that like button. We also had a couple other people, and same one as always. I missed your comment earlier. Hit that like button, smash that like button, pretend it's Sideshow and you're getting your revenge for this. As Thick Bantha Boy called it, somebody called it Capgate. Smash that like button, pretend it's Sideshow.
But so overall, like, so, you know, I look at here, I definitely think it's a very cool Captain America. But so guys, like, where you might get disappointed with what I say, if, hey, you decided to get the 2012 cap for 30% off or 25% off, would that have been the worst thing ever instead? No, you know. But
yeah, it's a nice figure at the end of the day, and it.
Yeah, but for I thought the price point, like you said, was too high. Even
like I said, for me, it's $40 overpriced, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I said I would have said maybe at the highest end 300.
Right.
But when it's 360, 370 shipped. Hey, Carlito.
Carlito, good to see you. And there's never late. There's always on time. That's my motto. But go ahead, Lane. Continue.
Yeah. So, and it doesn't come with a ton of hands. You know, that's where they're saving their money, it seems like, is hands these days, you know, from the Dark Trooper to like every.
Here's a reused accessory, but it's really cool.
Yeah. But I think I was disappointed by the price point and stuff for this figure. I know it's exclusive, but I mean, when you look at it, if you compare it now, it's not a direct, obviously, with facial sculpt and other stuff, but the Captain Carter, she comes with not too many less accessories than this figure, and she's $235. Now she doesn't have Steve Rogers facial sculpt, but I'm just
the thing with her, because she's animated. There's obviously a lot less detail and stuff, but there are, to be fair, also there's a lot of reused parts with this release. A lot reused head sculpt.
It's a 2.0,
right? Reused head sculpt, reused shield. Like there's a lot of reused parts. So
yeah, it's 320.
Yeah. 320 is definitely high, and I think they know. Like, obviously, these companies are aware that stuff that's limited like this gets resold. So they're like, well, if they're going to resell it, we're going to raise the price a little bit so we can make a little extra money off of it. So I'm not surprised by that. I don't remember exactly. If someone in the chat knows, let us know. I don't remember what the price for this. This is a really cool pose, by the way. I don't know what the price for this was in Hong Kong. I'm very curious to look back at that and see. If anybody in the chat remembers, let me know, because I feel like it probably wasn't anywhere near 320. It's probably a big markup from Sideshow's end. And we saw that with the Groot today. I mean, in Hong Kong, that deluxe was 220, I believe. And then in the US, obviously, we're looking at 275. So that's quite the markup, because they're obviously already making money from their normal markups, you know.
From your max value, you were saying 280. There's no way you can convince me that gauntlet, as cool as it is, because it's also destroyed and you can't wear it. $40 more for that thing.
Yeah, no. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, like I'm very happy that I got the cap, but I'm upset that a lot of my friends didn't have a fair chance at it, and a lot of you guys in the chat also didn't have a fair chance at it. So I'm happy I got it, but it is very unfortunate that a lot of people didn't have a fair shake, and that's really all I have to say about it. I'm excited to take a look at the figure. I will be doing a review on it. So if you guys are curious of hearing my overall thoughts on it, I will compare it to the 2012 cap and the standard endgame cap release. So that'll be very interesting. But yeah, so we'll move on for that. Hopefully in the future, I'm not very, very hopeful, but hopefully in the future, Sideshow works that out to where, again, I feel like Sideshow, if they're ever listening to this stream, they really need to implement a queue system, just like Shop Disney, perfect example. And it works every single time, because not only that, Cigars had mentioned bots. Believe it or not, there's bots for literally everything, and there are people that know what they're doing, and they can make a bot for Sideshow, so I'm certain that they exist. That also alleviates the issue with bots as well, as much as they can. So we'll see. We'll see if they make any changes. But yeah, Eric, I feel you, man. It's unfortunate because I feel like a lot of people that picked up this cap probably don't want it for that same reason. A lot of people saw those dollar signs because it is a limited release, and it's already reselling on eBay for like $500+. So unfortunately, they got what they wanted, but that's okay. As Steve mentioned earlier, he just got the 2012 cap. 2012 cap is beautiful. And in my opinion, the cap to get is going to be that standard end game cap, because obviously a lot of us collect for moments, and the moment when you see Cap grab Mjolnir for the first time and harness that power, like that's the moment you want. Stealth suit cap is cool, and I'm glad to have it, but it's like, which had the better moment? The normal end game cap. Even the 2012 cap, that's America's ass. You know, you gotta make your decision that way, but that's America's ass. And it doesn't look like there's that much of an America's ass on this new one. So
That's what I like.
okay, so 3,280 HK for the original price. So what does that factor out to in USD? 650, 700. Guys, don't pay that much for that cap. Obviously, I don't have it in hand yet, but I could tell you right now it's not worth $700. Like, once again, take advantage of those discounts and get the 2012 or the OG endgame cap. Like, those are the ones to get, because those have better moments, in my opinion. I can understand being frustrated if you weren't able to pick this one up, but there are some great options.
And don't forget, guys, even if some of those other caps aren't on sale and stuff, remember, Geeks Giving through Sideshow is only a few weeks away.
Yeah, so
literally,
if you miss the 30% off on them, they're gonna give us
last
another
day.
discount.
Like, hey, in a couple weeks, guess what? This is coming, and then there's the Christmas sale.
So you have plenty of time. You're going to get a deal on those caps, and it's going to make you feel better. Steve, I bet you when you open up that 2012 cap, you're going to smile from ear to ear, because it's incredible. It really is. And Chris can attest. I know he has it. It's beautiful.
I love my 2012 cap, man. The colors are just vibrant, and it stands out on the display.
Yeah, the colors are just perfect.
Nice briefcase too, with Loki
and the Loki scepter. Yeah. It's really nice.
It's an example of, because guys, even though we saw the 2.0 with the stealth suit was much better, if you go back and look at some of the reviews for the 2012, seeing that one versus the original, that one's even a bigger step up, I think, over the original version of the 2012 suit from the first Avengers. Between then and now, for sure.
Yeah, it's just nicely tailored. Like even my brother,
very close to the body.
Marvel, it almost made him want to pick up one because of how good the suit looks.
It's those colors, man. And if you have the Mark 7, or if you're getting the Loki, the endgame Loki, like, you can make a 2012 Avengers display pretty easily with a lot of these endgame figures, you know. So it's really cool. I'm very pleased to have it. And yeah, Steve, definitely let us know what you think of that figure once you get it opened up and everything. It's great. It really is. That was one of those figures. It's like, every once in a while you have one of those moments where you open up a figure and you're like, wow, this is beautiful. And of course, every figure, if you're buying it, you should like it when you open it up. But that was a figure that just caught me completely off guard. I opened up and I'm like, wow, those colors are bright. They're vibrant, you know?
Yeah, and like, I had never had a cap before, but I've seen the other sculpts, and like, when I opened it, that hair, the way they did his hair, I legit had to take a second look, because when I was pulling it out, thought it was rooted on.
Yeah, it's very fine, very finely detailed. And that's the nice thing about Hot Toy sculpted hair. Over the years, they've had a chance to really develop it, and you get to see those individual strands of hair. And like you said, it literally looks rooted in a lot of cases. So Carlito says eBay has endgame stealth cap for around 500 free shipping from HK sellers. Not terrible. Sideshow prices are around 368 out the door after taxes and shipping. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, would I pay 500 for it? Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Yeah, eBay fees and taxes and everything, it gets pretty insane because that's going to be another like $35 ish on top of it. So still really stings, and it's like I don't know if that's going to heal the wounds of not being given a fair chance to get a figure, you know. But guys, let's and of course, if you guys have any more comments about Cap, feel free to throw them in the chat, and we'll try to address all the comments. But I want to talk about Electro because this one was a little bit different, and the reason I say that is this one hit the last chance page, and it didn't even last like 12 hours, and it went to waitlist. And I want to thank Lane for reaching out and saying, hey, because I didn't catch this initially. I was about to go to bed. And Lane was like, hey, you guys might want to check this out. Electro's on last chance. And I was like, oh, shit. So I ran over to my phone. And Chris can attest to this because he saw it right as I posted it in our group chat. I was like, grabbed Electro. Because like I knew like when it comes to figures like this where I'm like, I'm building a Sinister Six display. And like, this was the last one from the Sinister Six display that I had mined that I didn't have on pre-order. Obviously, I'm still waiting for that Vulture Hot Toys. Like, what are you doing? But I am getting smacked around, and this one was no exception. But yeah, so I'm glad that I didn't hesitate and I just went and grabbed this one because it's sold out and went to waitlist less than 12 hours later. How many of you guys either already had this one? And this goes for the panel and the chat. How many guys either already had this on pre-order or grabbed it before it hit waitlist?
The day
I don't pre-order nothing.
Yeah, CMB does the smart thing. He doesn't pre-order. Would you say, Chris?
Unless it's something that I know that absolutely needs to be pre-ordered because I will miss out on it. That's the only time I'll pre-order, like Boba Fett Arena, Ecto 1 Afterlife, that type of deal. But other stuff like this, I have planned A through Z sites. So
yeah, see, I typically get all my stuff through Sideshow, so I kind of run off of Sideshow's their schedule and everything. I know there are plenty of websites you guys can search around that still have this in stock, I'm sure, for pre-order. But Chris, you were saying you grabbed yours day one, right?
Yeah. Usually, if I'm gonna get something, I know I want it in the display. I'm pretty 100% sure about it.
Yeah,
and you know that like I don't collect stuff just to collect it.
Right,
like,
you're very selective. Yeah.
So I knew I was getting this guy, so I picked him up.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, this is a really cool figure. It really is. And like, guys, you know that like this was a huge redemption for Jamie Foxx's Electro. I mean, we went from the garbage that we got in The Amazing Spider-Man to this.
I didn't get the blue one, but I wasn't missing this, and especially with No Way Home, dude. That movie was.
Yeah, and the fact that we got the I don't know what you call this, a crown. What would be the comic book accurate name for this cigars? Do you know, for like that star on his face?
I thought it was called the Star or something.
It's called a crown.
It is called a crown. Okay,
it's a crown.
That was a good guess, huh? But yeah, it's so amazing.
Like an electrical facial crown. Is basically what it is.
Okay, it's amazing that they kind of gave us that fan service.
The OG one, it was just an actual mask, you know. So
I don't know
he
if
actually just put on a mask. But like as far as what we see in the new one, you can literally call it like a facial crown because it does what it acts like one.
Yeah, I agree though, Chris. I'm not covering that sculpt up. That it looks smack like Jamie Foxx, man. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And he's got.
I'm not covering up because I need him to have that pose when he says, "Oh, you like the new."
Oh yeah, that's true. That's like his best quote in that movie too. And I love this outfit. I really do.
Really,
his best quote to me was the tree one. He's like, "What is this?" When Ned's like, "Is this like some type of tree guy that could turn into a tree?" He's like,
"Oh yeah, that's funny."
Mine was when he's talking to Sandman. He's like, "Damn, got to be careful where you fall." Yeah.
But yeah, I really like this new outfit.
One-liners.
He does. And it was just such a redemption for this character, and I'm sure it was like an emotional redemption for Jamie Foxx because obviously he was kind of right there with us. He didn't like how the character was meant to be portrayed in The Amazing Spider-Man. He didn't like the look either, just like we didn't. So this was just a total 360 from that. So this is a 100% pickup for me. I had to grab it once I saw that it was low. Unfortunately, I was waiting for a deal But obviously, for some figures, that's kind of a thing of the past. And all the little details in this figure are pretty incredible. Like all this different like wiring and the chest harness and such. I have a feeling this shirt material is going to be very high quality once we see it finally released. And this is one that has single jointed elbows, which I'm not super happy about. However, it's nice that they're mostly covered up, so you don't really see the joints too much when you have them posed. You can see here, I mean, obviously they have some Photoshop there, but if you integrate the lightning effects and stuff, it definitely doesn't look too bad, even though they're single jointed elbows. And then you get your 6-scale Timberlands. They're not officially branded, but hey, 6-scale Timberlands, that's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, so Oilers, I did see that. We're actually going to hop over to the last chance page after we finish talking about Electro, but very interesting. She finally made it to the last chance page, huh? Some guy says, just curious, will the collecting community consider this new cap a grail? Not for a while, I think, personally. I do think it's going to resell. I do think it's going to resell, but do I think it'll be coveted as a grail? I would say no, because a lot of people have a bad taste in their mouth for that figure because of what happened. So I think it's going to take a little bit for people to kind of get over that before they're like, all right, let's start like putting money down and hunting for this guy. Because you best believe as time goes on, a figure that they only released like 550 or so worldwide is going to be worth money, you know? And is it a very exciting figure? Is it very different from the other caps? No, it's obviously just a kind of like a 2.0 of a previously released figure with some extra stuff. But I do think over time, as the situation ages and people kind of forget about what happened, some people are going to go hunting it down. And when new collectors pop up, they're going to hear about this figure and they're going to want it. So I do think over time, possibly. It's just right now, again, people just like have a bad taste in their mouth for it. So I don't think
turned out better. It still turned out better than what's going on with that stupid Mark V with the base.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that too. But yeah, the Mark V with the base is going to be interesting for sure, because that one's absolutely going to be limited as well. But I don't think too many people are excited about that one because it's literally just an extra display base.
That's how long it took them from announcing it to put it out.
Yeah.
2 months.
Yeah. And they're doing that a lot. It's like the Shanghai store has kind of shaken things up a little bit, right? Because we have all these Shanghai exclusive releases that are eventually making their way to the US. And that's kind of shaking up the game because it's kind of their way to introduce these limited release figures. And I find it very interesting. Payden, how's it going, bro? Good to see you. As always, I hope you're doing well. We're talking about Electro here. Oh, you're right, TK. Sorry, TK. Yeah. So she's been on Last Chance for a while, but she's near sellout right now. I believe that's the change that we saw. But yeah, she has been on. You're correct. She has been on the Last Chance for a while. I always have TK here to fact check me. I feel like he fact checks me all the time, which is good. That's what we need. Somebody in the chat. I wish I could make you a role like fact checker, like Discord. But yeah, guys, this one's really, really exciting for me. I'm glad that I was able to get a pre-order in. I believe Lane, you said you saw a couple other websites that still have this guy for pre-order, correct? Like in the US. You're muted.
All right, thanks, Lane. Yep.
Yeah, sounds good. That's
I know
website.
that Off the Rack still has them in stock. I think Toy Dojo may, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay. So yeah, there you go, guys. There's some alternate options.
Yeah, some other sites that get their stock from Sideshow and stuff. You might want to start. I mean, this is a character. This is a character, not like, I don't know, if Axe Woves came out and was waitlisted on there or something. This is a character. I think you have to be a little bit more. You can't just go, okay, I'll just wait till closer when it comes out. This is probably one from other locations. You probably need to be proactive a little bit more for trying to get.
And it's a good price too. That's the other thing. He's relatively inexpensive compared to the other No Way Home stuff. So a lot of people I could see picking this one up. But I think it's time to hop over to the Last Chance page because it's looking quite beefy right now. TK just shared with us that some figures that have recently disappeared from the website have just come back. So let's take a look and see what we got here. Obviously, Spider-Gwen was brought up by Oilers. She's showing low stock remaining. There was a promo on her recently, so that's why kind of the stock is starting to dwindle down on some of these shelf warmers. But look who has shown back up. We were just talking about this one yesterday, CMB, on Geeking Out, and he has returned temporarily. He's showing his almost sold out, guys. So if this is one you were looking for, almost sold out means that they have very few remaining. So that's interesting. He showed back up. We were just talking about him yesterday, but this is definitely a beautiful figure. If this had a John Bernthal head sculpt with it, I'd absolutely grab it. But I'm hoping that he pops up in Armor Wars and we get another Punisher War Machine with John Bernthal's head instead. So yeah, this is interesting. Punisher War Machine is back. What else we got? Oh, we have Nebula.
It popped up again.
Yeah, Nebula is back once again. Guys, this is a figure you can get dirt cheap on the secondary market, so I wouldn't buy it from Sideshow, because at the end of the day, if you buy from Sideshow for this figure, you're spending more than you need to. This figure sells for 180, 190, 200 in that range all day, so I wouldn't feel the need to rush and grab this, because after the 235 and shipping and taxes, it's just not going to make any sense. But if you like stuff brand new in box, more power to you. I don't blame you for that. And of course, if you have rewards or anything, you could use it on that. The Hulkbuster Deluxe. So all those who wanted the Hulkbuster and didn't have the money at the time, or were kind of bluffing and then are regretting it, here's your chance. The Hulkbuster Deluxe is back, and this one, of course, is also almost sold out. So this means they probably went through the warehouse again, cleaned up a little bit, and found some more stock. So we're going to keep an eye on this as we go through the stream, because more stuff may pop up, because it is slowly popping up as we're in here. We do still have some of our other contenders from last week on here. So the Green Goblin Deluxe, he's still showing low stock, so he's not at that almost sold out status yet. Of course, the collector edition is already waitlisted, so if you wanted that, you're going to have to look elsewhere for that one for the time being. Let's see. I'm surprised that Buzz Lightyear isn't gone yet. I really am, because this is one that I know a lot of people probably aren't picking up. And I thought when it hit last chance, I'm like, all right, there's probably not many that they need to sell because they probably didn't expect many people to pre-order it to begin with. So I'm surprised this one's not gone, but I got my pre-order in. Of course, I had to grab the deluxe. This one also, the collector edition, is waitlisted already. So I don't know who would buy Buzz Lightyear without the wings, but obviously somebody did because it's waitlisted. But me personally, with Buzz Lightyear, you got to go the deluxe. I think everybody else is doing good. Neo, I did grab Neo as well. Guys, let us know in the comments which one of these you guys picked up recently, or you're thinking about picking up before they actually fully go to waitlist. Unfortunately for me, I got most of these on pre-order as I saw them popping up on last chance. Goblin, I already had pre-order, but I did grab Neo. I did grab Buzz. Thor, the deluxe is what I'm going for, and that one is not on low stock yet. So guys, don't be too worried about Thor yet. If you want the deluxe, you have time. Right now, it's just the collector edition, and he's been on here for a few days now, so I feel like this one's going to be a slow sellout on into waitlist status. So don't be too worried about Thor just yet. Yeah. Of course, we'll keep an eye on it and notify you guys. Right. Exactly. That's kind of where I am. Once the deluxe starts moving into low stock, I'll be like, okay, now I got to drop a pre-order. But for right now, I'm not too worried about it. Yes, exactly, Bantha. It's interesting how they just keep finding some of these figures. Like the Hulkbuster's come back. This is like the 4th time now that it's come back. And same with Nebula. Like Lane said, Nebula keeps coming back as well. Yeah, don't sleep on Doc Ock. I mean, Doc Ock is one. Like, if you're a Marvel fan, you got to get Doc Ock, man. I mean, it's Willem Dafoe. Such an amazing performance every time he plays Doc Ock. I'm sorry.
William Dafoe never played Doc Ock.
Okay, thanks, Sean. I was correcting myself as you said that. Alfred Molina, every time he plays Doc Ock, he's done an incredible job. And it's really heartwarming to watch like the behind the scenes footage of Alfred Molina on No Way Home and seeing like how much fun he had on the set and how much fun Willem Dafoe had and Toby. And that's why that film is so special to me. It's like all of these legends kind of coming back all together again. And it was really special for them, as special as it was for us too, you know? But yeah, so that's what the low stock alerts are for today. We'll definitely keep an eye on it, guys, because again, stuff has been popping through kind of this whole time we've been streaming, so I definitely want to keep an eye on that. But
tell you what, if that Mando set pops up on there,
the season 2 Beskar,
yeah, the new Chrome or whatever.
Yeah, I actually have that one almost paid off. I think I set it to charge because last year there was a random alert that it was about to start shipping, and obviously that was a lie. But I want to pop over real quick. We're not going to sit on this one too long. The swoop bike, we're going to talk about it, don't worry. But real quick, guys, I just wanted to hear your thoughts on this Mark V. me personally, we talked about it before when it was originally announced. I just think this is a very lazy release and a very unnecessary release personally. And feel free to chime in, everybody on the panel, what you think about this one. But I don't know, man. It's like, why would you get this one when you have the normal Mark V that's constantly on coupon? You can get a nice discount on it. And even on the secondary market, you can get it pretty cheap. You're spending extra money and stressing yourself out because this will probably be very limited. And this diorama base isn't even in scale, you know, and the paint job doesn't look too great either, in my opinion.
Not just
That's
that,
a go
but
kart
like,
wheel.
Right.
yeah, and not just that, but I think for a diorama base, usually it's like I mean, it was a good point in the film, but it's usually like, to me, should be like the big point, or at least have a longer place in the film. This was like,
and why are you putting
one
this?
specific scene.
Why are you putting this out when you have the Armor Up Mark V that was announced for pre-order like over a year ago? Why isn't that being put out before you put this thing out when that's been up for a long time? And even though obviously it's a different style, it's still this scene in this suit. Why isn't that out first?
It's because this is that,
like
like I said, the Shanghai releases are so interesting. It's because it's like they like make room on their production line for those.
They're trying to make the most boring release possible for their new store that people can go, oh, isn't that one already available?
Right. They're trying to make stuff that's easy for them to make and it's fast. So they could just throw it on the shelf and be like, hey, you got some
Somebody will
Shanghai
grab it, though,
exclusives.
no doubt.
Oh, they will. I mean, once these hit Sideshow, I'm sure they will sell out. I'm sure they will.
Mhm.
And obviously part of that is people thinking they could resell it. This one, I don't know if I would
I
flock over to resell this one because it just comes with a diorama base. But
well, you think about it, it's probably going to be what, $400 for 25?
Easily. It's going to be over. Yeah, it's going to be over.
Well, so
yeah.
to put in comparison, the Armor Up version is like $350 or $400.
Yeah.
For that.
Like we talked about the slicing through, like
I
where
hope
the
so,
score
yeah.
marks
I
are.
hope so.
It looks better on the Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah,
like with the droids thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Let me see if I can.
That's another thing I would wish Sideshow would do better. Don't send out a mass email letting us know, hey, we found these in the warehouse. There's one of them. So like the second,
with the Ghostbusters pack. You know how sad I was that I missed that.
Whoever got
everybody
lucky for that, yeah.
I know.
As soon as I clicked, it was already gone.
I mean, you look at the retail price, you're like, ouch, but then you got to think of what it sells for, you know, how much money you saved by getting it through Sideshow.
Yeah.
But and you have a new Ecto 1 coming in next year. So,
So whoever got those, congratulations on that, because that's a huge pickup. We're going to, I don't want to spend too, no way.
Ecto 1?
No, we're talking about the Blitzway, the pack that restocked.
Oh, man, I wish.
Yeah, that was insane, man.
Right now, little Connor in his head's going, nah, to any person who got that Blitzway 4-pack.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoever
I cried a little
bit. They were quick because I literally was like, I got the email and I jumped on it. It was already gone. I was like, damn, whoever got that was quick.
Yeah, I mean, they probably had a heart attack once they actually were able to check out. Guys, let's move on from the Iron Man, though. We've seen the Mark V many times. We've talked about it many times. I want to move on to something that was very surprising that we got to see again. And this is another one. Me and Cigars were kind of talking about it recently. And here it is. They're showing us the zombie Captain America again from What If. I think out of all of the What If releases, this is like top 3 for me. Yeah, I really want this. I think he looks awesome. I love the teeth. I love the flesh tone. I love the grime and gross dirtiness on the helmet and the clothing. It looks amazing.
It looks like it's in the year when we last saw him, though. It looks like they've refined the figure since then.
The facial sculpt looks like they updated.
I think he looked paler.
And look at the rib showing through here.
I like the fact that he's more blue because he goes with Zombie Deadpool. Because Zombie Deadpool has the blue skin.
I think actually this guy, if he looks like this in the final thing and they were to put him out, he definitely, I think, helps with if you're setting up a zombie setup, like with the Mysterio Iron Man, this guy, the Dead Strange, and the Zombie Deadpool.
That's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm making my own Marvel zombie.
Yeah, I got to get the Zombie Deadpool eventually because I'm gonna have a whole zombie area in my display.
Figure. It is such an underrated figure, man.
I've seen it in person at my local comic shop. It's beautiful.
I think this guy acts as a nice, because the zombie Iron Man
look at
and the Deadpool look very different, but he's kind of almost like kind of an in-between look between them. I think he makes a good figure. You can psychologically put them together as zombies because he's kind of the middle of the road look between both of them. I would get, you know what? I would get this guy, and I would go get the Captain Carter, so that I could put this zombie thing in her clashing shield.
Look at that shield.
This figure
man.
made me, this shield would make me buy that Captain Carter since they're part of the same series.
Right.
To actually put them against each other.
That would be cool for sure. That would be cool. Insane One says, this is Insane One's famous quote: "Don't take your Lex with you. Leave it here and take a subscription while you're at it to the Hot Toys hotline in this killer panel if you haven't already." So guys, if you're here and you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. Also, drop a like on this stream. It really does help us out. We really do appreciate it. And drop a like for the zombie Captain America hype. I'm very excited to see this. And I thought this was smart for Sideshow to do. Obviously, being that it's spectacular, it was smart for them to be like, let's show off spooky figures. Exactly. I thought that was smart. That was clever for them to do, for sure.
Now, do you think this would probably be a guy who would have probably a very short run? So, like, this is one you may have to, like, really...
With the current standing of things, I think so, bro. Look at that bent leg, man. That is beautiful. I love that so much.
Probably that means the articulation for that figure, like, must be great.
Yeah, and I love that it says Zombie Captain America on the base. Sometimes they kind of go simple on that and just put Captain America, but not this time. Not this time. No. Mr. Mom, how's it going, dude? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you as always. Mr. Mom, I was also chatting with him today on Instagram. He's a cool dude, so definitely check out his channel if you haven't already. But yeah, dude, this zombie cap's amazing, and I'm also glad to see that this suit does look like the same material as the Endgame Captain America suit. So I know this is going to be very high quality because the Endgame Captain America suit is beautiful. It's very, very well tailored, and it's really nice, thick material. As always, we're so glad that we have this muted so we don't have to listen to Guy talk. We could just watch the figure and focus on the figure.
Thank you.
Hey, I hate Big Guy. You guys all hate. I like Guy.
I don't hate Guy. It's just it's an ongoing joke. Sometimes he
doesn't
describe things the best way, and he doesn't know how to pose things.
I think he does all right. He's not as good as Terry.
We don't hate the guy. That's the joke. Terry's the goat.
We don't hate him.
No.
I know. But
it's like to poke fun, like how he's got shakes. He's got the shakes like an alcoholic. When he goes to posing figures, his hands are so shaky. It's like, well, damn, good thing you're not a surgeon.
I don't know.
I mean, a watch is right twice a day, right?
I don't know. You guys pull out your 20-ounce Haterades and drink them up usually.
No, the Haterade drinker is Boba Fettuccine. He said it, not me. Sideshow, come get him. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like this is like, and the thing is, guys, like let's talk about this, right? My personal opinion, I look at this versus Captain Carter. I'm like, this is what I like from What If, and like the T'Challa Star-Lord. If they drop T'Challa Star-Lord, that's mine. I'm getting the T'Challa Star-Lord. I think so far, right now from the What If line, what I'm going to be picking up is definitely the Infinity Ultron, because that figure is insanely beautiful and really, really cool. And it's the only die-cast Ultron we have at this point.
I thought you liked the Hydra Stomper too.
Oh, I like the Hydra Stomper, but I'm not buying it. There's no reason for me to. I'm not going to get the Captain Carter, so there's no reason for me to get the Hydra Stomper, but I do appreciate it. I think the Hydra Stomper itself is beautiful. The Steve figure is cool, but it has no appeal to me, But absolutely, if they do the zombie cap, I'm picking this guy up. I will be getting the Infinity Ultron eventually, and I'll definitely get the T'Challa Star-Lord if we get that, because I love T'Challa as a character, and I love Star-Lord as a character. To see them two mesh together, and not only that, for those of you that don't know, Chadwick Boseman actually did voice T'Challa in What If, so that makes it that much more special. Exactly, so it makes it that much more special,
Yeah, you know who I think if they did a figure of it, like showed us, I think I actually might get the Nebula from the Star-Lord T'Challa episode, because she looked really cool.
I thought that was cool. Yeah, it was nice to see her as a human and not as a cyborg, Yeah, it was cool. That was very cool. Yeah.
She I think would have, for that style, I think could have a really good look as a 6-scale figure.
I think so too. I think they could pull it off.
I want Dairy Queen Peter Quill.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, this is a really cool figure.
Just don't tease us with this.
I know.
Just put it out. Don't put this out and tease us with it.
Well, it's good that they got it. It's good they got it at least. I don't either.
Third time that they showed it, and the first time they actually did an official showcase for it, where they just specifically and only spoke about Captain America zombie Cap, like, you know,
Right.
where the others they just showed off at a con or whatnot, and then you don't hear about, like Zemo, how he was showed off at a con, never spoke of
Zemo,
again.
that's so
So,
unfortunate.
but the fact that we're getting these in a showcase in their own separate videos leads me
And
to
we got-
believe that these are actually coming out.
Yeah.
Right, and the other
Yeah.
ones in these videos are already out. Everything that they
Yeah.
showed in this video, the rest of them are all out. So that's very promising for sure.
This guy looks good.
That's what I was about to say. Like, say what you want about the movie. If you're not a fan of it, I completely understand. But this figure is beautiful. Like, this is really, really well done. The teeth. I mean, now Cigars and I like to poke fun at the Pennywise teeth sculpt. We call it the candy corn teeth. These aren't candy corn teeth. These are very highly detailed, sharp, really nice looking. This looks awesome.
These teeth definitely was not on the team that did Pennywise's teeth.
Right. It's Morbin time. That's what it is. Infinity Ultron. Yes, Martin. Infinity Ultron's beautiful. We got a lot of Guy comments here. Guy has an amazing talent for observing the extremely obvious.
I can't disagree with that.
Yeah. Peyton, I agree. I recently rewatched Morbius and I didn't hate it. Was it an amazing film? No. But I didn't hate it, you know? I absolutely did not hate it. I just thought it could have been better, you know?
It could have been. The only thing I didn't like about it was you could definitely see everywhere that they cut and edited it.
That they chopped it. Yeah, that's the big
problem
problem with that.
You could tell that they chopped that movie up so much that a lot of points would not make sense because it'd be one area in the scene and then it would just cut to like a completely different area and you're like, so how much time has passed and what the hell's going on? Like, you know, it was just chopped up too much. Plus, you know, couldn't have CGI'd the blood or him cutting like that. The ship scene when he goes across and he like rips that dude's throat out. Literally, you see the guy stand there for a little bit going, and there's no wound on his neck. And
that was a bit
disappointing.
disappointing.
See this guy standing there with no wound on his neck, and he falls over. I'm like, how am I supposed to believe that he just died? Like, I don't.
What
see
just
a
happened to
CGI
that
wound. Man? Yeah, like, what do? He gets scared to death? I mean, come on, what's going on?
God, I will say, this base is one of the better bases I think that Hot Toys has done recently. It's very creative. I love how the bats kind of wrap around the back. And it's very clever how they did that clear pole to where you can kind of pose them to where you can cover it up. I think it looks really, really good. Great point from Mr. Mom Collectibles. He said he always tries to separate the figure from the movie, I guess, or the content. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to do that. And we've talked about this many times. I mean, especially like Cigars and I, we have horror collections. Mm-hmm. This will fit right in with a horror collection. I mean, and even the base. I mean, if you buy Morbius, you display Morbius how he is. You could use the base for Batman or any other horror figure. For that
you could use the bats with Batman.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to hunt down a second one of these bases for sure to put with one of my Batman figures. But yeah, this figure is definitely one that I'm end up picking up. And it was very cool to see that Jared Leto is and still is offering signed versions of this figure. And for what, $50 more, I think?
$350.
$350.
So about,
okay.
$50
but for a signature,
and you get a signed edition.
Right,
which isn't bad because at the end of the day, it's still a signature, and he's officially signing it. You know, it's not they're just printing it; he's actually signing.
And I'm sure to get his signature for a separate item by itself is
not $50, right?
Yeah, it's not $50. No.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's probably a couple hundred at least.
Matt, what's up, my man? How you doing?
I'd like to get a couple of those bats. The Batman Begins thing when he escapes the police station or he escapes the apartment with all the cops and he calls in all the bats to help distract. How cool would that be to just have a bunch of bats around Batman?
Right,
that'd be perfect. That scene.
If they don't stop with these ads, man. Sideshow's running some serious ads on their videos. They're getting me.
That idea is copyrighted by Boulder and Boulder Inc.
There you go. So you owe him money if you take that idea. Just saying, guys. Dead Strange. Now, I will say this figure does look beautiful, but the lighting, the kind of like spooky lighting, and Cigars brought this up yesterday on Geek It Out, and I kind of agree with them. They didn't use the best lighting because obviously they wanted to make it look like spooky and dark. So I feel like some of the details on this figure are kind of hidden because of the lighting. But still, with that being said, like I want to get back to that close up on the head sculpt. This head sculpt is beautiful. It really, really is. This is a release. Yeah, in a matter of speaking, yes, it's literally not beautiful, but
your eyes start to pick up the details that the light is not.
Yeah, like look at the.
So that's how you can definitely tell that, like, Yeah, like I was saying, like you brought up, like they wanted to go for the spooky effect, but it really
Right.
did this figure a disservice with the lighting. Like you could
Because
have
these
made
aren't
done a
brown
little
like
bit
this.
of
They have a bit more depth to them.
like a darker, it's like a dark black mixed with brown thing, and they
Right.
could have just used a better lighting to
Yep.
to help at least spotlight it, to give people like, oh, okay, I can see more of the detail because it looks really muddled out. But then,
Yeah.
and you know that if it was in better light, like I said, if you stare at that close up long enough, your eyes start to pick up the actual details that are being muddled from the light. So then you're like, well, damn, they should have definitely used better light because then it would have made this figure pop out more on a showcase.
Yeah, absolutely. But with that being said, of course, we're not taking anything away from it because this figure is
Nope.
beautiful. It's more so the lighting.
Mhm.
It's just something we wanted to point out because it's very obvious that that the lighting is playing a factor into how it looks here. But I will say, as I'm looking at it here, like the amount of like, and that's when I look at the price of this figure, I'm like, that is not bad. Really, it isn't, because the amount of detail and just like the cape portion alone with that webbing you could see in the back, and just like the different shredded parts, and it all looks different. It's not like a carbon copy on each side mirrored. This is incredible, and like the detail on the little soles, it's just so good, man. I'm glad to see everybody in the chat super excited for this figure. Mr. Mom says the top 3 anticipated figures. He doesn't look detail friendly. Actually, so we did look at him before when he first came out. You can actually, the main cape portion, you can kind of fold it in. So you could absolutely get him to fit in a detail. Or, of course, if you really wanted to save room, you could take all of this stuff off, which is the beauty of this figure, and just kind of have the body, which we did see at a certain point in the film. He didn't have the soles and stuff yet. So you could definitely make it work in a detail for sure. Boba, it would absolutely be a contender for sure. If it looks as good as the prototype does, it would absolutely be a contender because this is a very detail-heavy figure for sure. I'm really, really excited to see this one in final product form. Matt said he thought the same thing with the lighting. It shows you how much lighting in photos can be subjective. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very subjective. Very subjective.
Yep.
Like it's night and day sometimes. And look at the secret base photos sometimes when Monica and MRC and other people go down to secret base and take photos. Look how much better in a lot of cases these figures look in that lighting versus the prototype photos. You know, it can make a huge difference. But yeah, Dead Strange is one I have not forgotten about whatsoever. I'm really, really excited for this figure, and it's like it can't come soon enough because this figure is just so incredible in my opinion. And you can kind of see even from farther back, we're seeing more of those black details that Cigars was talking about. But in proper lighting, they don't look as brown as this. It's very interesting that they chose that lighting.
Yeah, it really makes the dead look like zombie turds coming out.
Right, it's sewer monsters.
Yeah.
Boba
Watch
said
me
you could
summon the Golgotham from
Right.
Dogma. Born in heaven nor hell, born from shit.
Boba said you could see the smoke coming out of Guy's ears from the amount of obvious thing he wants to point out. Yes, I'm sure there's many obvious things pointed out in this video. But yeah, this is really cool. I'm excited. This is one I hope doesn't sell out early because it is on the pricier side. I think he's like, what, $385? I think that's the price for this one. I think so.
Was it $385? Yeah, it's either $385 or
Let me see.
$100. It was up there, but you know you're paying the Benedict Cumberbatch.
Right. Yeah, you're paying for that likeness.
tax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Even with him as a zombie, you're still paying for that tax.
$385. Yep. I was right on the money. But yeah, $385 is a hefty price tag. So I'm hoping this one doesn't sell out early. So I have some time to use rewards and such on them. Oh, Don with the assist. Don says $385 at Sideshow. Matt says he thought $375. So it's $385. I just checked myself as well. Actually, since we've just watched the video, I might as well pull this tab up since I have it open now before we move on to the next topic. And by the way, how you doing, Don? Good to see you as always, my friend. But yeah, guys, here we go. Dead Strange 385. And you could see in these photos, you can see a bit more black. And perfect example right here. Look at this lighting. Look how much different everything looks here. So lighting plays a lot.
Go back. It's damn near the same lighting Sideshow's using. It just doesn't have the clouds or the lightning storm or the blues. But you can see just how much a little bit of cloudy gray white and some added fake lightning and blue background, how much that changes the figure just from the offset of lighting. And that's just muddled lighting in the back with Sideshow, and they completely changed the whole tone of the figure.
Yeah, and I think this is the one that Lane said he was buying 5 of them. Like he wanted to have a Dead Strange army in his collection.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Yeah, Lane, how do you think you're going to go about affording 5 of these? Like, are you going to use rewards, or are you just going to kind of go balls to the wall and just grab them all at one time?
Yeah, I think that's we're mishearing.
Hey man,
something
I know a guy that can,
Yeah, no,
that'll meet you in a seedy motel and leave you in a tub of ice, missing a kidney. Hey,
there you go.
You'll have the money.
Since Lane is getting all of us our Christmas swoop bikes,
I knew Sean was about to say something.
I don't.
For somebody to bring back the swoop bike.
I don't see how Warbucks Kramer here is gonna.
Yeah, I don't know how he's gonna be able to afford that. I totally forgot he had another tab.
But we don't really know what his business relationships are outside of this.
Yeah, he could be making some real money. Maybe that's why he's just buying them all up right now.
Yeah,
he does live in Austin, so I ain't gonna ask what he does at night.
I think some guys are a little high here.
I think Lane's a hired hitman. That's why he's so nice to your face, because it's like he never wants you to know his true profession. I think Lane's a hired hitman. That's why he has so many hot toys.
He's one of those guys from that movie Repo Man. He goes and repos organs.
Excuse me, I believe you have my stapler.
Don't hit him with the Office Space.
The Office Space is awesome.
It is.
I bet he's in charge of some type of office.
Lane has his own office. Lane is the office manager of his own office.
He just don't want nobody to know that. That's why
I want to speak to your manager.
That's why we're playing it all coy with, we're just getting swoop bikes.
Right, just nothing to see here.
Lane said he's getting us all swoop bikes. So
Dead Strange, that like button though, guys. I like that. Dead Strange, my tapeworm thanks you all. Guys, when is Insane One gonna get rid of this tapeworm? I'm worried about him. It's like slowly eating his insides. It's been months. I'm very worried about him.
You'd be like at a whopping 87 pounds now.
I know. It's kind of like, you remember Aqua Teen Hunger Force when Carl's eating those like protein bars and it eats them from the inside out and he turns into a bug.
Oh man, it's been such a long time.
That's a classic.
Anything with Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
That's a classic. I don't know why I remember that, but it's such a classic.
Such an underrated show, man. I love that show.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I'm sure it's like very corny watching it now, but it was a lot of fun.
It was fun then,
Right.
I'm sure if like younger generation watches it today, like, the hell were they smoking thinking this cartoon was funny?
I know, right? Yes. What's happening to Collector is we're looking at hot toys, and we're also talking about Lane's profession, which apparently, Lane, you're either Scarface or maybe Lane Wick. I like that, Lane Wick. We got to get Lane an all-black outfit with the suit and everything. Lane Wick.
He has to grow a beard out then. He has no choice.
Lane is a wet work expert.
He's a mechanic.
Oh, that's the one right there. I can bring you in warm, or I could bring you in
Lane's
cold.
either a mechanic or he's an accountant.
Right, one or the other. One or the other. All right, but what do we got next on the agenda here? Oh, Sean, not to put you on the spot, but did you want to do what I asked you earlier? Do you have that planned for tonight?
I can in 15 minutes.
15 minutes. All right, well, then let's take a look at it. So, guys, Sean, this lucky duck has already received his Mandalorian swoop bike before basically a lot of people from Sideshow. So, Sean is going to be unboxing the swoop bike today live, which is really exciting for me. And Lane as well, because Lane and I have been looking at this and we're like, man, that's really enticing. It's a really nice piece, in my opinion. And the thing that I like the most about this swoop bike, and by the way, shout out to MRC as always. That's our boy. I love the videos that he puts out. So thank you, MRC, for putting out this video, because it's definitely helpful with the streams and such. But
yeah, he does great videos, man.
Awesome stuff. And he's such a nice guy. You guys got to head over and check out MRC Collection Ventures. He's always got early reviews out, so definitely check him out. He's going to be on the channel one day. I got to bring him in. I've asked him many times, and we've talked about it. And he was like, yeah, anytime, just let me know. And I always forget. So one day we'll have him on. But yeah, guys, so MRC put up his video of the swoop bike. And again, like I was saying, and I want to get Lane's input as we're watching this here, because I feel like Lane and I were kind of on the same page with this when we were looking at it. We're like, man, like I was kind of considering this one, but now I'm like, maybe I'll get this. And for me personally, I think I want to put Cobb Vanth on this. I really do. I think I want to take the Boba Fett gear off. I want to take the armor off, kind of have it saddled on the back, and then throw Cobb Vanth on there in his like little red like turtleneck type thing.
I
that
like
has.
he mentions the size that it's. He said he would put the box about twice the size of the average hot toy, so it does give you an
Which
idea
is
of
crazy.
the scale.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I don't think that's actually bigger than say like the Throne Boba box, because that thing I think was about that size too. So
It's not the brown box is not much bigger than the battle damage Thanos.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
so
a little bit, maybe like an inch or two, but that's
Battle damage Thanos is a big boy, but yeah, that's I guess it's probably like Return of the Jedi Scout like size, right? Sean, is that about comparable?
or
I
maybe
just
a little
recently
bit
got
smaller.
that.
no,
because-
it's smaller than that.
Smaller.
Well, because
okay.
it doesn't come with the figure and stuff, so that probably is.
They were really smart about the packaging on that, though. Like the way that they put their scout trooper in his own little clamshell. I love, dude. That was such an amazing unboxing experience. It really was. I wish I could have done it live because I just had such a fun time unboxing that. But yeah, it was really, really
It's one of my
fun.
favorite.
This is a very hard for one me to decide if I should get or not, is because I have a hard time deciding to buy. It's why I didn't buy the Bat Pod till much later after I actually had a Batman
Yeah.
to stick it on, because this would be for my Crow Mando. But if that was we knew it was coming out soon, it would make it a little bit easier. I have heard a lot of discussion. I am really interested in this one, but I don't know if it's one I'm willing to, because it is a vehicle. It takes up a lot of space. And I have some other vehicles I kind of have my eyes on already, like with the Bat Pod, the Bard Speeder as well. However, that being said, this is probably, and maybe at least for the foreseeable future, if you collect mostly Mando line, like that's what got you into Hot Toys, and that's what you prefer to buy. We've got season 3 upcoming. This literally might be the only vehicle you get for Mando anytime soon, if at all.
For a while, but
so,
that's the other, like I was saying too, it's like this is such a versatile vehicle. If you don't want to use this for any Mandalorian figures, you can make it fit with a lot of different Star Wars, and even not Star Wars. I mean, it could fit with a lot of different stuff,
That's what people like, the Bat Pod,
Bat
people
Pod,
put multiple figures other than just the Bale.
I've seen Deadpool in the Bat Pod.
Could work on it. Yeah, I've seen the background.
Oh, Batman Beyond. We saw that the other day. That was really cool.
So I mean, I agree. And what's nice thing is, even though we all know it's like it's supposed to be the prequel Anakin, it's a nice junky swoop bike that you can put, like you said, pretty much as long as they've got maybe some sort of hands, like fit off at least one hand, they can kind of go on one of the handlebars at least.
Yeah.
You could stick lots of it. Not maybe, I don't know, maybe Bo-Katan could work on there, or maybe you might be able to fit a Luke Skywalker, or who knows, because it's at the end of the day, it's a beaten up swoop bike, you know?
Yeah, and Don was saying here, you could throw the stat bike Anakin on it, and he was on a swoop bike in the Clone Wars, so it'd make a lot of sense. And like I said, that's what I love about it. It's just so versatile, and you guys are going to see here, and I'm so excited to hear Sean's reaction live of what he thinks of the weathering, because I see it in this video, and I'm like, man, this is like a top example of Hot Toys weathering capabilities. It looks so good. The faux rust and the grime and the scraped away different paint and such are all around it. It just looks so good. It looks really,
I would
really
say
good.
This reminds me, it's not literally the same thing, but you remember for the Scout Trooper for Mando.
The Mando Scout Trooper, yep.
Yeah, the weathering and stuff like that, the dust and everything, for how dusty those guys, the two Scout Troopers.
It could have been better, yeah.
Yeah, but I think for the Return of the Jedi one, like that one, I think had far superior.
Huge improvement. Improvement.
This has that kind of weathering to it in the vehicle form.
Totally agree. Yeah, it looks great. And
I think the base were really good too.
The base.
Yeah.
I like that they do the environmental bases on these. It makes a lot of sense because you have to have something to make it stabilize. So why not make it look good, So I do really like, and especially with the Return of the Jedi one, there's so many different like little leaves and stuff that you stick into the base. It's incredible. Like the Return of the Jedi Scout bike is one of the best like sets I've ever purchased. I just absolutely love it, and it's really, really nice.
Now, one thing I was wondering, because someone had told me that all the boba pieces and stuff like that are going to come with the Chrome Mando Deluxe, the 75 version.
Yep.
Will those also fit on the Scout bike?
On the Scout bike or So not the bark.
No, I mean the
not the
swoop. I mean
speeder.
this. I mean the.
They're
swoop.
meant to, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
it's
actually
meant
an
to
image
fit,
of him
yeah.
doing it. Yeah, of him putting it on the back. Yeah.
Everything that comes with the deluxe Mando, where he's carrying those bags and the armor, it actually fits onto the bike.
Exactly.
They
It's like a
showed that in the
companion
promo
piece.
photo.
So I would probably say if you were like thinking about this, I would probably give you more an emphasis if you're going to get that. Yeah, exactly. That
Guys, check out MRC.
If you're planning to get the Chrome Mando, I think that would be if you're kind of the thing that pushes you over the edge would be, because as much as this has versatility, if you have zero plans to get that figure at all, or not have any Mando figure, or maybe the older Beskar, it would be hard for me to say absolutely you should get this. Like, I think
you really got to build this thing.
Yeah, that's what we were saying yesterday when we were watching this video. Like, man, you really got to put it together. I kind of want to watch Sean struggle, because you got to put like the little like fuel lines underneath and everything.
Yeah, this is actually.
I'm just gonna unbox. I'm not gonna put it together.
Wow, Sean. Wow,
it's a tease tonight.
Wow, he's just hitting us with the tease.
I gotta build you all up, yo.
Yes, CSI. Cobb Vanth is gonna look awesome.
Himself.
Right. It's going to look awesome on the swoop bike, CSI. It really, really is. I'm excited. And I almost am tempted to get two, so I could have like Mando and Cobb riding together. But that's all dependent upon discounts. If I can get these guys super cheap, I'll consider getting two to kind of have the duo riding together. But that would be ideal. They would look amazing together.
And this guy's $285. So so
that's Batpod price. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and, that puts it in kind of comparison when you have to think about if you're maybe considering a larger piece, maybe for the holidays, or just to be a little bit more, you don't maybe own any vehicles. Like, you've got this guy for Mandalorian this, holiday season, you've got this thing, and you may obviously have the Chrome Mando at some point in the first part of the new year. But like, the other option is that blurring with like the OG Mando, and that blur is $560. Now that thing, I think, has a much bigger stuff with it. It's like 26 inches tall when you put Mando in it. So it definitely has a bigger shelf presence necessarily that you want. But what's nice with this guy, as some other people pointed out, it's long, but it's not big or thick. So you can move, you got flexibility, even though it's like 1.5 feet in length or so. It's thin enough and stuff, and doesn't have tons of crap.
Right. And this would be something you could put on top of your detolfs. We kind of mentioned this before with vehicles. If you guys don't have stuff on the top of your detolfs, I know some people are scared to do it, but trust me, like, I've had like my vintage collection vehicles and stuff on top of my detolfs for over a year easily, and no issues. Statues, super heavy statues, people do that. I don't know if I would do that, but this isn't too heavy. This isn't a heavy piece. I could tell you, without even owning it, I have the Return of the Jedi Scout bike and I have the Mando Scout bike, and they're not very heavy. So you'd be perfectly fine putting this. I mean, I have the Razor Crest, the vintage collection Razor Crest, which is massive. I have that on my detolf, and I don't feel whatsoever worried about it. So this is interesting here too. He does compare this Grogu to one of the older Grogus, and it seems like he has more of like a shiny finish. You'll see here when
his ears are also farther back,
and the ears are kicked back. Exactly.
Yeah, so
and I love that. That's cute. Along. I love that. That's really cool.
The Grogu that he's comparing it to is the one from the new Grogu pack that they just
from the accessories.
Look at the color difference. That's crazy. Just for between the two. This is like a lime green. Very interesting. Huh. And those two aren't far apart at all. And does that look like, it looked like there was a seam line on the one on the right? Let's see.
P-Rock's in the house.
Oh, P-Rock, what's good, bro? P-Rock needs to come in one time. They're all over here talking about thick. Of course, when P-Rock comes in here, they're over here talking about thick.
Well, no,
P-Rock later, and then he never shows up.
P-Rock's in Godzilla mode today. Hey, P-Rock,
nice, Oilers. Let us know how it is, man.
P-Rock, I'm actually surprised. I figured you would be like going to see the showing for Godzilla against Mecha Godzilla today for the 20th anniversary.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not there either. He's the Godzilla man. Noble says, "Yo, Lane Kramer, I'm down with the Ultra MAGA." Lane doesn't know what you're talking about, man. He doesn't know what you're talking about. That's what she said. Did I miss it? Did Sean miss a "that's what she said" moment? That's shocking.
No. When you said about P-Rock coming in.
Oh, of course. Of course, Sean didn't miss it. Sean just taking notes so he could use it later. Okay, so they both have that little like maybe that's just like a forehead wrinkle. It looked like a seam line. Actually, maybe that is a seam line. Not that Hot Toys don't typically have seam lines on the head sculpts because yeah, that's definitely a seam line. I guess it's just more obvious on the one on the right because it's a darker color. I do really love the ears kick back though. That's adorable. And it's something different, you know, from the other Grogus. It almost looks like, am I crazy or does the paint on the hands look different than the head? Let's look at this together so I can make sure I'm not crazy here. Does that not look like a different color paint on the feet and the hands and the head sculpt?
It is. It's a gloss color.
Yeah, and this is like a
paint.
It's interesting. It's like this is like a different shade.
On the bottom, I mean, your lighter
No,
color
on the hands,
on your
right here. Look.
yeah,
That's definitely a different shade of green.
Yeah,
Isn't that
definitely.
interesting?
It doesn't have the gloss on it. That's all. It's the same color. It just doesn't have the shine.
That's so weird. I wonder why they went with that gloss. Huh.
Probably to give it, I don't know, sun effect. Like he's out in the sun because the bike is.
They ran out
driving
of
on
paint.
Tatooine.
And that's the paint that they
Right.
had.
Sean's like, dude, they just ran out of paint. Relax. Stop, Sideshow. No, MRC. I'm yelling at MRC now. Stop. Enough ads.
Can't help that.
No, he could specifically blacklist ads from when I'm watching the videos. He could totally do that for me.
You gonna start paying him then?
No, I'll just tell him, like, hey man, I'm not gonna give you the 40 cents every time, so just take the ads down. He said he'll burn his Grogu. Don't you burn Grogu? How dare you? Would have been nice to do, but beat today, and I would probably fall asleep at lane. I'm sure you would, or you would lose something or break something on stream. That is true. P-Rock's a little upset that Grogu's not showing some skin. His robe is a little bit too low for his liking. Grogu has the meat sweats. Oh, Lord. What have you been doing, Grogu? What have you been doing today?
Well, technically, Grogu is 50, so
he could certainly have the meat sweats. Sean, are you yet prepared for what's to come with the swoop bike? Are you ready?
That's what she said.
It would be you. It'd be you that said that, Sean. Because you're the swoop bike man. That's what we're calling you now, the swoop bike man. Look, once again, man, look at like the scratched off paint and the rust and such in this. It just looks so realistic, man. I'm very, very impressed, and I'm very interested to see this in person. Like we were saying, there is some assembly required. There's actually a screw that kind of runs down in the top here. You saw in the video he pulled that cap off. I find that very interesting. This is almost like a model kit. Showing us how you attach the bag. Can anybody tell me what this is on the bag? Because I don't recognize this. What is this? Does the bag have air conditioning?
Oh, I thought it was a damn satchel bomb.
It looks like a bomb,
like
yeah.
It
looks like an old school
bomb.
World War II bomb. What the heck is that? That is interesting.
Either that or the old school wind-up phones in the military.
Oh, right.
They came in those olive drab bags, and then you'd have to wind it up to actually make a phone call within, like, as you connect it to other phones within the whole in your perimeter.
Right.
Type of deal. Yeah,
that's very interesting. I'm curious if anybody in the chat has a speaker. I feel like you're just Bantha Boy. I don't trust you. I don't think that's a speaker. I don't think that's a speaker.
That's Star Wars version of Bluetooth speaker for your vehicle.
All right, looks like Sean is ready. Our Lord and Savior, the unboxing man, Sean. Here you go, guys.
So this is the box.
The swoop bike, baby.
All right, good night, everybody.
Right. Sean's like, psych. Head over to Hot Toys Nightmare to check out my unboxing and review. All right. I'd be so upset. I've been looking forward to this.
I almost forgot what his face looks like.
I know, right? Sean still exists.
And this is the preview of a
This
box.
is all you get to see.
Yeah, it's the preview of the box. That you guys
let's
are
get a
gonna see the
sponsor
next
by
week.
Dirty Dishes.
Heck no. Yeah, it's like one of those YouTube shorts where they're like, find out in the next video.
Yep. This is part 1 of 7.
Yeah, exactly. Like, come on, bro. Just show me the swoop bike.
You to play your clickbait
And
game.
for Connor, this is the inside of the front cover of the box.
Is that what I wanted to see? Yeah, I was really looking forward to that. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that.
That's what she said.
Wow.
Don't
That's
forget,
wow.
we got to make sure as you're giving us the nice slow burn here, like an Andor episode.
How
Don't
dare
forget,
you, Lane?
Don't forget, we always want to make sure we remind Connor that this is probably the most
2025.
prime 5 is when your boy Mace Windu is rising. We promise.
No,
My
don't listen to
goodness.
them. Blasphemy.
I'm
Are
gonna
you only
turn
getting
my-
one?
I want to turn my light on.
Good idea.
My overhead light. See if it can be better for everyone. Hang on.
Wow, dude, the production quality is just so unprofessional.
Hey, do you know if he's only picking up one?
Sean, I don't know. Sean likes to get a lot of duplicates, but I think lately he's been more patient with that and kind of more selective in what he duplicates or what he gets duplicates of.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm even considering getting 2 of these. See, these new displays are gonna mess me up. They're gonna mess me up big time, man, because I got all this extra
'Cause you're
room
gonna
and
have more
I'm
space.
gonna need something to fill it. So this is Chris's fault mainly Chris's fault. I'm gonna blame him.
Okay.
My girlfriend asked
Because
him, like,
he's
yeah, that's
buying
Chris's
it.
fault.
You
Because
guys
he's
ever have
buying
a
them
problem,
from you.
just blame me.
Yeah, just blame collecting madness.
Is this better now?
There you go. Please do shine us the light. It's a bit better.
Are you only getting one, John?
One swoop bike?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's not true because Lane's giving us that one for Christmas.
Oh, that's right. So
Yeah,
if
that's right,
if you count the one from Lane, that technically is 2. And then I'll have 3. If I end up buying 2 of these, I'll have 3 because I'm getting one from Lane.
Yeah. What are you doing with it?
Getting away with it, but nope, we're
You
not
gonna
going to
have
let him live
Mando
it
on
down until these 2 bikes are in our
Yeah, I'm
hands.
going to put Mando
Right.
on it. It feels wrong not to put Mando on it,
Yeah.
or at least standing next to it.
Right. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do with my Bat Pod that I just ordered. I'm not going to have Batman on it, but I'm going to have him like standing next to it, like he just got off of it.
Hang on, I got to get high.
Oh my god.
That's some good shit.
Everybody's like, see ya. Great stream.
Yep.
Or they're like, Sideshow's now providing a bonus. Every time you order a swoop bike, you get a contact high.
I think Sean has multiple secret projects, don't you?
That's what she said.
Yes or no, Sean? God.
Multiple
Well,
secret projects
if
about
it's a
what?
secret project, he's not going to admit to you
No,
that he's got secret projects.
What is that? It's the Iron Man. What is it? Isn't it Secret Project Iron Man?
It's like Rush
Oh,
Hour,
yeah,
man.
I have
That's
2.
G15
Yeah, he has 2.
classified, bro.
Right. It's
G15
classified.
classified.
Yeah, share. P-Rock wants one of you. No, P-Rock hates Iron Man. He doesn't want
Only
you.
Chris Tucker is privy to that information because he's got G15 classification.
There you go. Sean, how's the weathering as you peek into the box? Is it as good as it looks on video? I hope it is. It looks so good on video, man. I mean, typically you would think if it looks good on video, it's got to look good in person.
So
Is yours
Grogu,
shiny?
You would think.
Grogu is not that shiny. My
Good.
Grogu, I'll grab another one and compare it.
Yeah,
But
it
looking at them
definitely.
here,
Yeah, it doesn't
the
look
paint's
nearly
the
as shiny.
paint's all normal. So
Interesting.
that video that we were just watching,
It even looks
that
like the same
is-
shade of
you
green
got a
on the
different one.
hands. It's like he got a bad head. Like you said, maybe they ran out of the paint and they're like, oh, maybe this will work.
let me grab
They
another
won't
Grogu
notice.
since we're talking about it. I'll be right back.
Wow, I'm very curious now because I feel I'm about to hit up MRC and be like, yo, you got gypped. You need to get a replacement for your Grogu. Oh, gee, we're gonna get high. New toy smells intoxicating, especially if you. Yeah, dude. I'm sure a lot of people were smelling cable. Everybody was smelling
Hot Toys
cable.
likes to give MRC figures to their limit, right? That's
You
why
said
he
what?
has no pro. You know, MRC gets some couple figures from Hot Toys every now and then to push to the limit. Like that's why he'll break them on his.
Oh, I didn't know
stream.
that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Got Sean back.
At least that's what I was told was that he gets some of them.
I could ask him. That'd be cool.
Because they like, from what I heard, was
His
that
videos
they
are
like
great.
the fact that he pushes it to the limit and
Right.
then shares it with people. So that way people understand, like, you know, the quality because he ain't afraid to push it to its limit and break something.
Yeah, I've noticed.
So right here with the light and everything, let me get this one here. This is the one that came with the Mandalorian and Child Deluxe.
Okay.
This is the swoop bike one. So comparing the two together,
Hmm.
you know, they're not.
They look a lot closer than
They
MRCs. They look way closer, actually.
They are. And then with the child set that comes with like this.
I love that little basket. That's so cool.
So child set and the swoop bike set.
Those look identical to me in terms of the paint color.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So the line, I've never had this before, the line that comes across the seam line.
So it is a seam line.
That is on the swoop bike one, but it's really blended in. If you look,
Yeah, it's not terribly noticeable.
no, it's not. It looks like
And you get that
it's
with normal
part of
head
the
sculpts
regal.
too.
So
Yeah,
they
that's
found a
true.
way to mold that and bring it in.
Right. Oh, Sean's gonna like this comment.
What does it say? I can't read it.
Andrea's caught Lane off guard. Apparently, Lane said it's long, but it's not big or thick, so you got flexibility.
That's what she said.
He did say that. He did say that actually. Now
That's
that I think
awesome, Lane. You go, boy.
You go,
Old
girl.
Wet spaghetti noodle.
Well said, Lane. Well said, my friend. P-Rock said I heard that too. All right, Sean, drill over the weathering. How good is it?
It looked suitably metallic in MRC's video too.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got some good pliability, as Don is.
So,
Dude, it's crazy how the seat cushion looks like real fabric. It's really, really well sculpted. Yeah,
is that
dude.
coming in pretty well?
Yeah, look
Yeah,
at that.
man, you can
That's
see that
crazy,
spot.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, OG, okay. So that's when OG said that's what she said earlier. He was talking about what Lane said.
So this is made out of a different type of plastic or material.
Is it like pliable?
It's bumpy. It literally feels, you know, like the old car seats from like, you know, you go to a car and it was like in the 80s and 70s type car, and your parents would have that car seat material that would cover it up.
I know exactly.
You guys remember
what you're
that?
talking
That's
about.
exactly what this feels like. I'm
Interesting.
having flashbacks as a kid of that crap rubbing up against my leg.
Yeah, it's
Being
very
stuck in a
abrasive.
hot car in the summer.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Schwinn bike seats, like the material the Schwinn bike seats were made of, like the banana bikes.
Right.
So
That's
the
hilarious.
weathering's actually, like, scratches and everything are actually continued on the bottom part, which we usually don't see a ton of that.
Nice. And that makes a lot of sense because like if you can't leave scratches off the bottom because when it's hovering across the ground, there's gonna be dirt and debris and stuff kicked up at it and causing scratches and such. Don says grip tape. Fine Corinthian leather. That's something InArt would use with their figures.
So this right here, this part here, I don't have the instructions out yet, but this right here looks like a screw.
Yeah,
would go
in the
into
video, there's like a little cap that goes on top of it after you put the screw in. He did that in the video.
Oh, we did?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
So you're gonna have fun putting that together, and those little brake lines at the bottom. That's gonna be fun to put in as well. Some assembly required. That's where the best weathering is, I think, on those handlebars, where you can see the paint chipped away. This is Sean's unboxing face. There it is. Yep, there's that
So
cap. I was talking about.
serious.
Okay, so that's where it goes.
Yep. You see what I mean on those handlebars? Dude, it's so good. It's so good. That weathering across
So
the
these
side.
are movable.
Nice.
So it's also the brake part right here.
Oh, really? That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that
A little bit.
video. Where you
Yeah.
can
Actually,
throttle.
okay, there's a lot actually.
Are those just like stiff? They're not ratcheted, right?
Yeah.
And do the
Just
front
like what
like
she
little
would say
things
if we were
move?
here right now.
I'll tell you what, the ones on the scout bike, man, for the arms made me nervous.
Oh yeah, it definitely makes you nervous putting it together and manipulating it for sure. Those move like the other scalp bikes, I'm assuming, Sean. Those are articulated on the front. Very nice.
Barely.
Barely.
Like it won't stay. It's movable. It goes
So
forward
it's just
and backwards.
flexible
Though, look.
plastic. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. I'm
But
assuming that
that's it.
probably happens when they go like backwards or forwards on the bike. That's when that articulates in the actual film or in the show, rather.
Yeah, and the little cap thing just came off.
Yeah, Sean's over here breaking stuff already.
Silence.
All right, Sean, now we got some trivia for you. Can you tell us what's on the side bag that looks like a bomb?
Yep, hang on.
What if it says it in the manual? That'd be interesting.
So this right here kind of almost looks like it's a built-in van.
That's what I said. It looked like
for
an
wind
AC
to blow
unit.
in and to go through. I mean, I think it's pretty jacked up if it's some type of landmine, because it could look like that too if you put it this way.
Right, but also if like someone runs into him, he's gonna blow up. That'd be very clever if he had a bag for Grogu that was AC controlled. I mean, Mando cares a lot about him. I wouldn't be surprised.
So I mean, this could be like, you know, battery pack where it doesn't have to be wind controlled too.
Perfect. Any of these bikes got to be better to handle than the side showing. Yeah, I heard the side showing was crap. I've never actually seen it or handled it in person, but I heard it wasn't good, unfortunately.
It's very.
He said, I'm
flimsy.
sure Guy's video says what it is. Yeah, dude.
Hey,
That's the thing that Guy does the most is make up terms for things. He's probably like, yeah,
I got
this is
the real swoop bike 2.0.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What's the swoop bike? Let's see your swoop bike 2.0. Oh, Sean, he's got you beat, man.
I got that one too.
Oh, wow. So you got nothing. You got nothing, Chris. Put that little swoop bike away.
You know what, Chris? I'll tell you what. When you get the one from Lane, I'm sure it's sent with more love to you than I
That's
get with
true.
the mine.
That's
Yeah,
very true.
yeah.
You know,
Lane's gonna spit on Sean's bike and send it to him.
I want to
hey, he spits on it or not, I'm still getting a swoop bike from Lane for Christmas.
He's gonna
Thought
kiss
that
it.
counts.
Yeah, I want it gift wrapped, and I want it to say "We love collecting" on it.
I don't
Yeah,
think it's an
madness
insult.
and
It's
love.
more of Lane's like, you need my DNA in case I go missing. Here you go.
It's like when cops touch the back of your car. That's Lane's way of doing things. So that concludes the unboxing from Hot Toys
No,
Nightmare.
it doesn't. Hang on. Stand by.
Oh, we got the display stand, baby. Let's see how good this one is. Like I said, the Return of the Jedi one so far out of all the Scout bikes, I think is the best one, just because I love those little leaves that clip in.
So this is the screw.
Oh, very exciting. Screw you.
There's two of these here. They probably connect to the bike and then
Yeah, they connect to that little
the
brake
front
line
part.
at the bottom.
Okay. Then we got a dirty dishes hotline tool.
Oh, is that what that's called? I think if we look at the manual, Sean, I don't think it's going to say that.
Well, until I read the manual, it's whatever I call it.
Oh, there you go. P-Rock said he was able to get some of Pate Strick's DNA. That's pretty rare because he actually recently retired from YouTube. So I don't think it's going to be easy to get a strand of his hair moving forward. So congratulations on that, P-Rock. You got to put that one in a jar and save it. Maybe get a plaque next to it.
Or just start cloning another Pate.
That's true. Yeah, I was hoping it would be a sand footprint based, Sean. I don't know why you're showing us this, man.
Mm.
Well, you know, when good comes, there's also disappointment.
Right. I mean, it's
look
very
at
unfortunate.
General
we didn't get
Grievous.
That's true. It's very true. I was hoping that he wouldn't be able to stand, but instead I got the opposite. Very exciting.
So that's the unboxing. So like not how it shows in the on camera or anything, but with the Grogu's, like having them far back, it's the paint for the head is off, but mine is not a gloss. It's not a gloss type.
It's very interesting because obviously his was like very heavily glossed.
Yeah, it was very shiny.
Right.
But you know, it's just like, for example, some of those A New Hope stormtroopers, some of them had a different white color.
Yeah, that's
than
right.
The others.
That's right. They did.
Maybe it was made in two different factories, or
It could
Maybe
be.
the painting was being done in 2 different factories.
Well, I'm glad that I haven't purchased mine yet, because maybe I'll get lucky like you did and get one that's actually relatively decent looking. P-Rock's about to make his own family. Yes, maybe he will. Maybe he will. All right, guys. Well, I think that about wraps us up for tonight. We're just about to hit our 2-hour mark. Sean, I really appreciate you unboxing that. It's just further solidifying the fact that I think I'm going to pick at least one of those up once I can get it for a discount. Guys, if you haven't already, check out the giveaway video. Lane and I did just film the giveaway winner for the most recent Arkham series Harley Quinn hot toy giveaway. The winner was Braden Jensen. He has already claimed his prize, so congratulations to Braden. And once again, guys, we have more giveaways coming in the future. Next week, I will put up the giveaway for the $25 gift card in the Facebook group. So if you aren't in the Facebook group, head on over to the Facebook group and check that out. I will be posting it next week. Also, if you're here still and you haven't dropped a like and/or you aren't subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Drop that like, as Insane One always likes to remind you to do with this tapeworm, and subscribe to the channel. Guys, yeah, right, exactly.
It doesn't cost you anything.
It doesn't. It's free. Just like the giveaway that Lane graciously put out recently, it was free. So
yeah, just like the
free on
swoop
this
bikes
channel.
he's given us, free.
Right, like the gifts from Lane, those are also free. Not for Lane. They aren't free for Lane, but they are free for us.
Well, we don't know if they're actually free or not for Lane.
Yeah, maybe Lane's like an influencer. Lane's an influencer, I think. Lane's like, all right, I'm not giving you guys anything for free. Stop telling people, because they're going to start messaging me for free swoop. So, guys, do not message Lane for free swoop bikes. It is only a joke. Don't message him for free swoop bikes.
Wink.
There's no joke. He said that's what we're getting.
That's what he said. I
Poor
don't remember
Lane.
it being a joke.
So some people got selective hearing. That's all I.
Lane is not a liar.
He is not.
Do not
Lane
make
is
him
not a liar.
dishonest. You should
Bantha
apologize
Boy,
for that.
we appreciate you, man. It's good to have you as always, being entertaining in the chat. Also, CSI as well. Good to see you. Good to talk with you. I hope you have a great night as well. Also, Matt says message sent. So Lane, look out for a message from Matt for that prize claim.
Nope.
Oh yeah, so his Catwoman and Catwoman and Batpod is already claimed by P-Rock. But guys, also again, next week I will be getting the new stealth suit cap that should arrive to me. So I will be doing a review on that. And I also have a really cool lightsaber set that just dropped on Shop Disney the other day. I'll be doing a review on that as well. So if you guys like things other than 6 scale, you know I do that every once in a while. I'll be dropping a video on that as well. So it's going to be a busy filming week for me next week. Sorry, I've been kind of slow with the content. I've had a rough couple of weeks with all these new pets and everything that we got. My girlfriend's now on vacation, so I haven't had much time. And also, if you guys want a bit of an update on what I'm doing, I kind of briefly mentioned it last stream, but Chris and I are going to start the process this weekend of kind of preparing my room to be turned into something different so that Chris may take these details and put them in his house. So this weekend, we're going to be taking every single accessory, for the most part, out of all of my like 200 Hot Toys boxes and putting them in separate bags in a bin so that I may put the boxes in my attic and make some room in my closet for the next project that I'm doing in there, which is going to be really, really cool once it gets finished. Dude, Matt, I'm so pissed about that Doctor Strange cloak because I was so focused on the lightsaber set, I didn't even realize that it dropped. And then it says you could back order it, right? It says you could back order it, but when you click on it, nothing happens. So I'm hoping that goes back in stock because that's really, really cool. Guys, what he's talking about, there's a Multiverse of Madness Doctor Strange cloak that went up for sale. It's like 1-to-1. It went up for sale on the Shop Disney. It was only like $90 to $100. So I would have bought that absolutely, but I missed out on it. But yeah, Chris, what's new on the channel for you over at Collecting Madness?
Well, I just announced my winner of my giveaway of $100. So if you missed that, go watch that because it was also the unboxing of the 2-pack Lay and Wicket. Other things I have coming up on the channel, I have 2 controversial figures coming in. I have the Chosen one, that third-party one that everybody hates.
Yikes.
But I'm going to do some comparisons, see if you can put the Hot Toys head sculpt on it, the whole 9 yards. We'll have some fun with it. And then I got the Sideshow Grievous coming in. It's the only 6-scale Grievous, and I've seen it in person, so I'm excited to have it. And we'll see if it's loose or whatnot.
You just reminded me, I have to move mine. So that I'm not really excited for because I planned on like just putting him in that same pose forever. So now I'm sure when I move him, he's just going to melt and crumble to the ground. So thanks for reminding me of that, Chris. Yeah, Bantha Boy, it is way cheaper than I thought it would be as well because it looks pretty nice to me. But Sean, I'm assuming you're probably going to be putting up a swoop bike video on your channel so we can see it in better lighting and kind of all put together and with some poses and such, right? That's probably your next move, right, on the channel. You're muted. You and Lane, you know.
Is right. Yeah.
All right. He completely changed.
So, anyways, so the swoop bike, I will be doing a video and a review on that. I won't be doing an unboxing because we just did that. However, I do have the Mando and Blurg, but I already did an unboxing of just the Blurg. So I'm just going to do a review on the Mando and Blurg.
That makes sense.
And then I have the Construction Iron Man Mark III set.
Oh, so nice.
I'll have that tomorrow. So that and the Mando Blurg, I'll have that tomorrow. So those 3 items will be part of the whole
very cool
next reviews that I do. And hopefully Hot Toys starts releasing more stuff because they are way too far behind. So if you guys want to know like exactly how far behind, I can give you a brief overview.
Sean's like, yeah, while you're pulling that up, let me Bantha Boy, yes, it was the Anakin and Obi-Wan saber set, dude. You guys know how much I love Revenge of the Sith, so I couldn't pass it up. I really couldn't. And that box is so cool. It's got like the Mustafar lava kind of scene on the box. I don't know what song it plays yet, but I'm assuming it's going to play the theme that plays while they're having their final battle. So I'm really, really excited. I'm definitely going to be doing a video on it. I did do a review. If you guys like lightsabers, I did a review on the Obi-Wan set that has 3 different Obi-Wan sabers in it. Same idea. It's a special box. It plays music. So check that out if you haven't already. That's a really, really cool set. I love that Disney keeps doing those sets because they're pretty affordable considering what you get. I think it's pretty affordable. Hit us with the numbers, Sean.
All right. So I'm going to go back to 2018 because that's when this starts.
Sheesh.
So 2018, they announced 64 items and they only released 57. So the difference in that is 7. 2019, they announced 60 items, only released 40. So that brings a difference of 27 items. All right. 2020, they announced 59 items. They released 52. So that makes a difference of 34 items.
Interesting.
Now, 2021, they announced 95 items and only released 52.
Wow.
So that makes a difference of 77 items. So at December 31st, 2021, Hot Toys is now behind 77 items. Now we go to Hot Toys 2022. They have announced after the latest Groot 86 items in 2022. They have released 56 items. So with head sculpts, all what they've released this year is 23 head sculpts.
It's crazy.
So that's 33 without.
Yeah, so you can really see it's like
so
obviously
the difference. Yeah, so that right now they're 105 behind.
Good luck.
that's the best advice Lane's got for me. He's like, good luck.
Yep.
So, and that's a 4-year period. That's not including. Now, I'm not including stuff that's supposed to release in 2023. But if you follow the pattern, it's getting larger and larger. And more head sculpts now are being pushed further back, more and more.
Yep.
And so as of right now, for for the year of 2022, this year has less head sculpt releases than any other year.
Well, I mean, It's definitely not surprising because of especially with the situation overseas where they're constantly having shutdowns and things like that. It definitely kind of puts it into perspective how much it's really affecting their business. And it's like, it makes the whole thing confusing too, because the average collector is not really thinking like why, like, because everybody's question is like, why do they keep announcing stuff and not releasing it? And it's like, well, they have obligations for these licenses. They have to announce this stuff. So it's like, in a way, they've kind of dug themselves into this hole, and kind of the world situation has dug them even further into the hole, because they have all this stuff that they've committed to, and then they have all this other stuff that they have to continue to commit to because of the licenses. So it's a bit unfortunate,
Right.
but it's definitely some food for thought for the end of the stream. It's something to think about, because there's still plenty of stuff that hasn't been released yet that a lot of people are still paying off, or it's going to start charging that final payment soon, hopefully, if they start pushing more stuff out before the end of this year. So definitely something to keep an eye out. I mean, you could see that they're starting to make a small little push here towards the end of this year, and hopefully we'll see some more stuff being released going into December. But obviously everything is not going to make it through. They just don't have enough resources or time to do that. So it's a bit unfortunate, but let's hope everything doesn't turn into another cable situation.
So like last year in 2021, the most amount of items that were released was in December, and that was 11 releases in December. So we're looking right now at 34 items that are scheduled to be released between now and the end of the year. So if you think about it, like if something's listed for right now, November through January, okay, that's still estimated to be released at this time.
Right.
So there's 34 items right now that we're waiting on.
Yeah, they ain't gonna happen, but hey, we'll get some of them. How many, we don't know, but hopefully, like, at least I would love to at least get like Bo-Katan and Jesse and Vaughn. Like, those figures would be really cool to get before the end of the year. I'd like to have Bo-Katan on my display before the next season of Mando, which is February. So
and Axel Wolf's got an earlier release date.
That's right. That's right. So he did get moved up. I'm not surprised though. There's no head sculpt on him, but I was hoping that they would magically be like, "Hey guys, we're throwing in a head sculpt."
Yeah, I really wanted Space Kramer.
I know, right?
You know, and what's funny though too is so you got the Back to the Future Doc Brown.
He got pushed up too.
The date, and then it moved to October through December, and then they just pushed it to December and January.
Really, they pushed it again.
Yeah.
It's good and bad because I still have to buy that one, but yeah. But
yeah, so it's kind of weird for Hot Toys right now.
Yeah, definitely some food for thought. Once again, though, I want to thank everybody on the panel for being here. It's always great to have everybody here. Chris, Lane, Sean, it was nice to get you on camera for once. Sean, guys, has been very busy with work. He's got a new schedule, so it's awesome he was able to make it in today. Not only come on camera, but also do an unboxing, so that's really awesome. Of course, CMB, as always, it's great to have you. I'm glad that we're able to get you on basically every stream because I love having your input and your humor here with us. So I really do appreciate having you.
Thank you for always having
of course. And P-Rock will have to sneak you in here soon. P-Rock apparently wants to collect the. He's saying they want to collect that pre-order money. Yeah, that's certainly what they're doing, and we're collecting pre-orders. Some of us, at least, not CMP, but some of us are collecting pre-orders. That's all we have to show for it. That about wraps it up. Does anybody have any words of wisdom? Any final thoughts? Any comments?
25-25 incoming.
Lane, you have to be reminded every time this is our final moment of zen when we close out the stream, where you have to say something inspirational.
I'm at peace with Windu in 2025.
Lane,
all I'm gonna say is this: be an extra good boy because Santa Claus Lane is bringing me a swoop bike. So
there you go. That's more like it for the closing of the stream, guys. If you haven't already, shoot Lane a PM. He's giving out swoop bikes.
CMB's gonna enjoy that big
free of
lump of
charge
coal from Santa Kramer.
You know what's funny is you got to look at this, right? Like, so Santa is always watching me. What happens if I do something wrong? Don't.
This is what Sean does in his collection room. He's just talking to himself in his figure. All right, here we're going to end the stream on this, guys. Words of wisdom. Number 1, have a great night. But number 2, save your money. Take care, everybody.
Collectors. There's
have
no
a good
such
one.
thing as saving money.
Save your money, guys. Save your money. Words of wisdom from Thick Bantha Boy. Since Lane did not provide us with any.
Make good choices.
Yeah, make good choices.